You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog.
Whoa, whoa.
You guys can't see it, but we have got a lit arena today. We got a whole crowd. It's going to be fun energy. I know we're feeling good today, but let me introduce my guys. Because we got one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media, and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Hello, Skip. Sir.
Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib Talib. The king of quarterback breakdowns, top 5 passer in the history of the USC Trojans, Cody Kessler.
Two tables.
Two-table Cody.
Cody.
We were making fun of Cody because he needs
Cody,
two tables.
Cody, got my water, got my iPad. I'm locked in. I'm ready.
Yeah.
3-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl winning safety, TJ Ward.
Yeah.
So, Kinsey, on Monday's show, you might recall, we're talking Broncos with Mr. Bronco over here, Aqib Talib. And
who this?
out of the blue, he says, hey, we might trade for A.J. Brown, or who knows, we might trade for Jalen Waddle.
But he kind of said it really quiet first, and we're like,
Sleep
what?
that all shit.
Just a little might. Just a little might.
You know,
somebody's plugged into the Broncos.
Yep,
hey, man.
Whoa.
Plugged in a lot of places.
Leave
Oh, you've been
plugged in a
talking
lot of
about
places.
getting that coaching job. It might be for the Broncos.
Yeah.
They're really liking you.
Underdog paying good, though, so I don't know what them assistant coaches make. You feel me? Underdog got that bag for me, though.
This is the bag here.
Yes, sir.
Good. So we're not going to lose you anytime soon?
Nah.
Okay, cool. We're keeping you. All right, guys, we've actually got a lot to talk about today. One being, of course, the big moves that the Broncos made that our guy Aqib, he found out about early, I guess. And then we ranked the quarterbacks in the NFC East because Skip made a wild comment on Monday we got to talk about. Mike Evans seems to have taken less money to join the Niners and leave the Bucs, and we're going to discuss why. And this episode is presented by Underdog. Underdog is available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $50 in bonus entries when they play just $5 to get started. Just use code GRID when you sign up, and it's going to load instantly. Underdog, make picks, win money with code GRID. So, I mean, you brought it up right away. Let's get right into that.
Do it.
Right? We got to talk about your crystal ball. Did you bring another crystal ball to work today, or?
Nah. We pretty much done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't even need to do this show because it's over because the Broncos won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Well, we on our way.
Okay.
We definitely on our way.
You got some more
You said
faith
you-
in this, Skip, now? We got a little more faith in us?
That's what he
Just
said,
hold
right?
on.
He
Just
said if
hold
y'all
on.
get Jalen Waddle, you like us to win the AFC, right?
Yeah, here we go.
I said the same thing. I got to put. I got the Broncos now over the Bills for sure.
For sure.
But I do want to play. I have a little clip of what you said, so I just want to, prove that
What'd
Lee
you say, Lee?
is the guy.
Jalen Waddle is, I'm telling you, just watch. Just
starting to
watch.
throw out some other names.
Just watch.
Oh, yeah, we're getting
we're
one more
getting
now.
more names.
It's going to be a big splash, Skip. As soon as we do it, I'm going to FaceTime you, Skip. Get up.
Oh, I kind of like it.
Wake up, Skip. Get your ass up, Skip. Look, what I tell you, I'm going to FaceTime you.
Jalen Waddle.
They call it
I know. I like Jalen Waddle.
I'm just telling you, Skip, we're going to have a guy who you fear.
Ooh, okay. So what happened to get Jalen Waddle? So this is what the Broncos got: Jalen Waddle and a 4th-round pick in exchange for pick 30 this year, on top of a 3rd and 4th pick in this year's draft. So Aqib, give the Jalen Waddle trade a letter grade.
Oh, I give it a smooth A.
Smooth A.
Nice A.
Not even a plus?
Well, I ain't give it an A plus. I ain't give it an A plus because we did give our 3rd. I thought the 1st-round pick, swap 4ths, I thought that was enough. You know what I'm saying? But we had to have them, so
That's objective.
we had to have them, so we threw in that that 3rd, man. But we got the explosion player that we needed, and we could throw that 3rd in there because we don't need much. You know what I'm saying? We had one hole to fill. We filled that hole, but I also give it an A because the type of player Jalen Waddle is, man. You don't see him no sideline antics, throwing helmets, throwing fits. You don't see no off-the-field issues. Man, he is a straight team guy. You know what I'm saying? So that got him an A. And I also gave him an A because it's a team-friendly deal, for real. It's team-friendly. $22 million a year, that's the 20th highest paid receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? That ain't really hurting our pockets at all. You know what I'm saying? We get a caliber guy like that, 20th highest paid receiver in the league, so A nice A, man. I think we on our way, right, Skip? You know what I'm saying? Exactly what you said we was gonna
I
do,
haven't
right?
spoken yet, but
All right, well, I'm just making sure. I'm going off the Monday conversation.
He's still gonna find something.
I'm going off the Monday
to
conversation.
shit on the
He like-
Broncos.
I know Skip love it, man. So
yeah.
nice A.
Man, I follow up with an A as well. Only reason I didn't give it an A+ is because we're yet to see if he is a bona fide number one receiver. We know he can stretch the field, yards after the catch, big playmaker. You know, he had 3 consecutive 1,000 yards, and he followed up with another 900-yard season last year without a real quarterback. So, but to say he is a bona fide number one, we'll see when he gets with a quarterback like Bo this season. But I do give it an A is because we were 27th in yards after the catch in big plays, and 23rd in yards after the catch, and 27th in big plays, explosion plays. So bringing him in is going to amplify that and bring us to at least top 10. We have another receiver, Marvin Mims, who is very good after the catch, but he doesn't have the downfield like Waddle does. You pair him with Sutton, you pair him with guys that can play within the hashes and on the numbers, like Troy Franklin, like Bryant. Man, the Broncos, we have so many options at receivers now, and I know it's just one guy bring it in, but that's how much he opens up the offense for us. You pair us with 2 backs that can run the ball and catch out the backfield with Dobbins and Harvey. Man, we just became probably the most explosive offense in the NFL. And
in the NFL?
In the entire NFL.
We up there.
But wait, you just said you're not sure he's a number one.
But the versatility and the depth we have now. You have Sutton. He's the big body, 6'5".
He is.
Go up and get it over everybody. Now you have the bomb guy over the top, but he can also catch intermediate routes and stretch the field that way. And then you bring in Franklin, who's he's 6'3". He's not a small guy at all. Brian, he's about 6'2.5", 6'3". So we got big, tall, long receivers that are out there. We have route runners. We have guys that catch the screens, and Marvin Mims and Waddle, stretch the field, deep bombs. So we are so versatile and so explosive right now. We got the red zone guy in Sutton, tight end Ingram. Look, what more do you need? What more do you need? What more do you want from an offense? And the Broncos, they definitely knocked it out the park. I give it an A.
Yeah, I gave it an A also. I mean, the Broncos last year won 14 games and were 1 win away, arguably a foot injury away from going to the Super Bowl, and they just got even better. When you win 14 games like that and you're that close, you don't need to make a ton of moves in free agency. What you need to do is address positional needs that you have on your roster and hopefully add that missing piece that can help you get over that hump and get to that next level. And Jalen Waddle is arguably that missing piece. He could very well prove to be that piece they needed on offense to get them to a Super Bowl next year. Because when you look at this roster, they are set in almost every other area. I mean, when you look at their defense, one of the best in the NFL. The offensive line, also one of the best in the NFL. They had 2 first-team All-Pros last year, and Miners and Bowles. When you look at the running back unit, I really like Dobbins and Harvey paired up. They have a really good 1-2 combo. Dobbins only played 10 games last year because of injury, but when he was healthy, he had 770 rushing yards and averaged 5 yards per carry. And then Harvey, who got thrown into the fire because of the Dobbins injury, proved to be a versatile back. He can help you both in the run game and in the pass game. Had 12 total touchdowns last year, and that's something that you need in Sean Payton's offense. But the area that I thought that they really could improve upon was at that wide receiver position. You know, they had some young guys that were starting to prove themselves a little bit, but they lacked that true playmaker, that true threat opposite of Cortland Sutton, and Jalen Waddle could be just that. When you look at what he brings to Sean Payton's offense, he's a speed guy, has elite speed, 4.2, 40, ran that at the combine. He can take the top off of the defense. He can win and separate against man-to-man, which is important, but he's also a smart wide receiver and understands how to get open versus zone and adjust his route based on the different coverages that you show him, which is a quarterback-friendly receiver, and that's what you love if you're Bo Nix. Another thing that he does well, even though he's not the biggest guy in the world at 5'10", 180 pounds, he's not afraid to go across the middle. You can put him in the slot. He'll run a bender route versus cover 2 and go put his body on the line and make those contested catches time and time time again. He proved that in Miami. But the most important thing he does, and TJ said this, is his yards after the catch. What he does with the football in his hand is going to work great in Sean Payton's offense. This is a West Coast passing scheme, which means you're going to get a lot of crossing routes and underneath routes to where you want to get the ball to your playmakers as quick as possible and take that pressure off your quarterback and let them do the rest once they get the football. Jalen Waddle has proven to do that. And then the other guy that I have to mention in all of this that makes this roster so good is Bo Nix. I know I've been critical of him the last couple of years and specifically this past season, but all he's done is win games. And I really think he's going to continue to get better. He's proved time and time again that he can make big-time throws in crucial moments. He even did it in the playoffs against the Bills to go win that game. I think he's going to take another step forward next year. They put themselves in a great position to go make a run in the AFC, and I might have you guys scoot over. I might be jumping on that bandwagon soon, Skip. Those Broncos, man,
Skip
this
too.
move. They're going to
So
be
now
positive.
I got to deal with 3 Broncos?
Oh,
Hey.
4. It's us.
I know. Just change our name to the Bronco.
Make it 4.
Yeah, arena.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I can't give in to that guy over there, but
You're very biased.
I give this a C. And
Oh,
seriously, a
Lord.
C.
Yeah.
Because of what you said. First thing out of your mouth. I can't give it a plus, because you gave a third on top of I know it's a late one, but it's a 1. For a guy who, when you brought up Jalen Waddle on Monday, I hadn't thought about Jalen Waddle because I don't think a lot about Jalen Waddle because he was a clear-cut number 2 in Miami to Tyreek. And last year, when Tyreek went down in week 4, if you look down the game log for Jalen Waddle after he went down, he did virtually nothing. And even when Miami caught fire, remember they caught fire at the end of the year and had that little win streak.
Yeah.
And all through it, he didn't play in the game where they upset Tampa Bay, which was a huge loss for the Bucs. But over the last 11 games, he caught 4 balls a game for 66 yards. So he didn't tear it up. He didn't say, now it's my team, now I'm the man, because he was never the man, and he never lived up to being the 6th overall pick. And all I know for sure is that Jalen Waddle has never made a Pro Bowl. And you're telling me he put you over the top as a number 1, and you said it right off the top. I don't know for sure if he's that guy. He's really good, but is he great? Is he a difference maker? Is he a life changer? Is he that dude where you just said, oh, well, it's over. We got that guy. If you got A.J. Brown, I'd say, man, I fear A.J. Brown because he's in a bad place, bad situation right now, and he could just bust out somewhere else. If he went to, I don't know, Buffalo or wherever, New England, A.J. would just bust out because he's going to have something to prove, and he has more explosive ability than I have seen from Jalen Waddle consistently. So Jalen Waddle's played in 2 playoff games, and go look, he caught 2 balls and 3 balls in the 2 playoff games. And I know they lost him badly and all that, but whatever. He just never caught my eye where I said, oh, there he is. He did at Alabama.
Yeah.
And with Tua, and I'm sure Tua pushed to get him with the 6th pick in the draft, but he had one big breakout year, and it was 2022. And guess what happened? It was Mike McDaniel's first year there where the league couldn't figure out what he was doing. And it was Tyreek's first year in Miami, and Tyreek exploded for 1,700 yards, and Jalen Waddle had 1,300, by far his best year, because they were just dazzling the NFL. They were just bamboozling the NFL. Nobody could figure out how to cover both of them at the same time, and Tua was throwing it quick on time, getting rid of the ball to the right place at the right time, and then after that, it just goes down, down, down. I don't know. He's a number 2. Like this is the truth. I watched Marvin Mims through his whole college career because I root for the University of Oklahoma. Marvin Mims is underutilized in your offense because he scares me at least as much as Jalen Waddle scares me. And he makes big plays taking the top off the defense because he can flat fly.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Jalen Waddle has whatever it was at the combine, 4.37. Okay, he's got that, but he doesn't. He doesn't run it to my eye in routes where he just smokes people. Where I say he's just uncoverable. Tyreek uncoverable. He's not Tyreek, right? If you got Tyreek in his prime, healthy Tyreek, I'd say, okay, you got me, man. Game over. But now, I don't know. No Pro Bowls, and you're saying,
It's hard to make the Pro Bowl every season.
okay, I know it is, unless you're Jamar Chase, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're Jamar Chase, so would you say he's paid as the, what was it, 20th overall? Okay. So is he the 20th best receiver? Maybe somewhere in there, 25th best. I don't call that game over difference maker, where you just say, oh my God, they got him? I don't know, because I never thought of him when he was in Miami.
He's not a top 5 deep threat in the NFL to you?
It's hard when two is throwing it to you and he can't throw it 35 yards. I don't know. I don't know.
Quarterback
Maybe
only
that's
could
it.
throw it 35. Bo could let that bitch go 70.
He does.
It's like you said, it speaks to the fit. When you have a stable, even Waddle said it himself, he's like, there's no number one receiver in this group. And that was him being humble, like Leaf said.
Yeah, no, I
But
understand.
you have all these targets, all these guys that can catch the ball. It's like, what are you coming into? No, maybe you don't get that up if you don't have the surrounding talent around them if you're another team. Maybe you don't get that up for Waddle. But the position that the Broncos are in, we just need a few big plays here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Waddle is going to bring for us.
Yeah.
So that's why the value is more value for us than it may be for
Another
a
team.
Miami
Okay.
or, the Saints.
Okay, so does he make you a little bit better? Yes, he does. A lot better, like over the top better, win the division better? I don't see
We
it.
already did that, Skip.
I know
without
you
him.
did
Yeah.
it. Okay, so what's the
It
problem?
gives us
right?
like two
We
scores.
we
Since
trying
you
to
don't
get-
like the one scores, it's going to give us 2-score wins.
Yeah, we're going to get 2-score wins, and it's going to give us that 2 extra games at the end. Instead
Yeah.
of, lost in the AFC chip. We just
Yeah.
need to win one more.
Just to remind you guys, because I'm your professional bookie at this point. You do have a bet going where you said under Davis Webb that it was going to be 28 points a game for the Broncos, and they were going to be a top 3 scoring offense.
Oh, yeah, look.
So,
you see,
Skip, you made that bet? Obviously, that was about Davis Webb, but do you
I
feel
don't
better?
remember that one.
Do you feel
I
better
remember a lot
about
of
that?
them. I don't remember that one.
You done
It
ran
just
it
starts
up.
getting
now we got
Skip
Waddle. We
done
don't
ran it
remember
up.
him, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
I remember.
So how are you feeling about that now? You feel top 3 scoring offense though. I thought.
I'm not afraid. He said fear. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I play corner.
Yep.
And when you go against a top 5 deep threat in the league and coach called man, you look at your safety and make sure he know where he at. You know what I'm saying? He say, hey,
Hey, lean this
Hey,
way.
hey,
What you
lean,
say,
Hey.
couple steps. Hey, give me a couple steps, my boy. Like it's just part of
No,
it.
I understand.
Jalen Waddle is one of those type of receivers. If you call man and Jalen Waddle, that guy's gonna be looking back at that safety. Then the safety gonna be like, shit, I got Sutton over here. Like, what you want me to do? So he just present a problem because, in my opinion, Sutton is a top 10 deep threat in this league.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we got 2 of them. They catch the ball
Right.
different. 50-50 ball, run
So-
by your ass.
So there are 2 fascinating stats about your Broncos. Number one is you won 11 one-score games, tying the all-time NFL record. So you're just right on the edge. It could go this way or it could go this way, and it
Right.
kept going the right side, okay?
Right.
And the other stat that caught my eye was you were 29th in the NFL in 3 and outs, in committing 3 and in where you just keep going 3 and out.
Yep.
You ranked 29th. So obviously you needed some firepower because you're not a high-powered offense. You weren't
Right.
last year.
Yeah.
For all of all of his theatrics and all of his dramatics and all the things that Bo did late in games, over time, you weren't a consistently lethal offense.
Right.
Right? Your defense was often your offense.
See,
right?
But a guy like Jalen Waddle, he dictate the defense. Now we're going to see a lot more too high. When you got Sutton and Waddle, we're going to see a
Okay.
lot more too high. What that's going to equal, Skip, a lot better run game. That'll prevent us from going 3 and out. So I'm telling you, Skip, is you add one player with that speed factor on the defense, and it just changed your whole Wednesday, Thursday. It changed everything.
And now you got 2 receivers that could get busy because you mentioned Mims, man. Mims
I love
is
Mims.
a big time,
Yeah.
big time 50-50 ball, like Lee say. Critical moments, game winners was against the Bengals, the Bills, the only deep ball against the Patriots.
The Giants,
and he got
third down.
6.5 yards after the catch.
Okay.
That's
So you know what this is going to boil down to, as this man would tell you? The consistency of the quarterback. He was not consistent last year. You had a great year winning football games, but he was not a consistent performer at that position because he was 14th in QBR. That's all you need to know. You had a great regular season record with with what I would call an inconsistent quarterback, a middle of the pack inconsistency, right?
But was he consistent when the game was on the line? In
He
the
was.
biggest moments, the game was on the line, he was consistent.
He was.
In the playoffs, he was consistent.
Okay.
So when in the biggest moments, he played like that, it is what it is. You'll get your QBR, you'll get all the completion percentage, all the stats that means nothing, all the stats that he didn't do well in but still made the AFC chip. Those will get better.
Another year in the system.
What I think is important for Bo Nix is he has a high ceiling. The things that he struggled with, like being a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, going through progression, not taking off and escaping too quickly, and working on his accuracy because of his footwork, those are all correctable things. It's not like we're looking at a guy that can't get better and he's already tapped out of his ceiling and, okay, this is what you're going to get with Bo Nix. I think the more that he develops within this scheme, within this system, the more weapons he gets on offense, the better he's going to get. And I do think he will get better going into year 3. And I also think something flipped a little bit in his mind last year. That game against the Bills, to see, all right, I can go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. I can go toe-to-toe against Green Bay. I can go toe-to-toe with some of these really good teams and make these big-time throws that I need to make down the field. That's going to give him confidence going into next year.
And I could score 33 points in the 4th.
Yeah.
And Davis Webb, don't think he's not finna open that playbook up. You know, there was some discrepancies in how Sean was using them. Was he, condensing the playbook to keep it nice and neat and simple and let the defense win the game? We'll see if Davis opened that playbook up this year.
So, Cody, unbiased, do you think that the Broncos would be top 3 scoring offense this year?
I think they can, absolutely. Okay. I definitely think they can. I mean, you add in Sean Payton's offense, you add in Jalen Waddle. I think, too, to your point, Skip, about the 3-and-out issues, now you have a down-the-field threat. And a guy that can stretch the field vertically, you don't have to rely, even though it's a West Coast scheme and you get a lot of underneath stuff, it's, they minor in down-the-field shots and levels concepts, they major in crossers, but you don't have to live and die by that. Now you can take those shots on early down and distances, so you're not having 12 to 15 play drives where you're giving yourselves more opportunities, to go 3-and-out. You're giving yourself more opportunities to make mistakes. We can have 2 or 3 play drives for 75 yards and hit Waddle on a deep post, hit Sutton on a deep over route, and have those explosiveness on offense that you need to have. So I think that's going to help them be better at it, and obviously as top 3 scoring offense.
Okay, but bottom line on Bo Nix, he became last year, to my eye, a running quarterback, which you despise, but he's a moving quarterback. Sometimes he's just an escaping quarterback, but his mobility is essential to his overall performance. It's a big part of his game, is his ability to make people miss, like Micah on the play that Micah tore his knee up, fake him out of his jock. And now, after I think this was, if Sean was right about this, that was his 3rd ankle surgery in college and pro career. At some point, he's not going to be a running, moving quarterback anymore, right?
Wrong. If after 2 he looked like that, like, is it bothering him? Did it look like the first 2 bothered him? It ain't look like the first 2 bothered him at all.
At some point, it's going to bother you here. Just like I'm not sure I can trust it.
Yeah, it's 2026. He had a nice little micro fracture. Like, but it ain't no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, then he should have played with it, right?
He can't run with it. That's what it is. It hurt too bad to run with, but once you heal from it, you're good. He already
ankle
good.
Fracture, that's not something that lingers like that.
And one more thing, too, to defend Jalen Waddle a little bit, to your point, Skip. If you look at the numbers when he was in Miami, especially after 2022 when Tyreek Hill got there, his targets were significantly less than Hill. He was the Pro Bowl receiver. He was the first-team All-Pro guy. He was their number 1 option.
But he was the one getting single coverage.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay, true, that's fair enough. But at the same time, they were both of them were a threat on the outside, so you couldn't just worry about one each game. And there were games where Tyreek Hill was taken away, so Jalen Waddle would make those explosive plays. But then the last 2 years with his production going down, Tua had the injuries. They had multiple quarterbacks, Quinn Ewers, Tyler Huntley, Skylar Thompson, Tim Boyle. Like, he was playing with multiple different guys. I think he's absolutely capable in this offense to being a 1,200 to 1,300-yard receiver again and getting close to 10 touchdowns.
Well, if he's that, then you're going to be right. You're going to be right.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be that.
But they did give a 3rd that surprised me. I thought that would be a straight-up 1 for him.
Yep,
We moved up a little bit in the 4th, though. So we got, 2 or 3 4th rounders? 2 4th rounders now?
I think one.
Moved up a bunch of spots.
111, 160 to 111.
Yeah.
So, that's damn near 3rd right there.
In the 4th round, you moved up 19 slots by swapping with them. So,
But that's like, you guys can afford to give that
That's
up.
what I say.
That's the
With
thing.
the type of team we got, we can afford that.
It's not like you need to stack depth on that roster. You have key pieces and key positions. We can give up a third to go get a guy we think could be the missing piece and be okay with it. I don't hate giving up that third, actually.
We're going to draft a key player with
Gotta
that
get it right
second
now.
round pick.
Yeah.
62nd pick. That's going to be a key player for us.
All right.
Linebacker, D-line.
But you did lose Mortal Lock to my Dallas Cowboys, your safety, Mortal Lock, right? And that is
He's
He's
gonna
going to be good. He's going to be good.
He's
new
the Mortal
nickname.
Lock, man.
gonna be
Nickname
good.
on
You already
the
told me he's going to be great,
Hey, look,
right?
Watch, he
DJ
gonna be
gonna bring
good.
some physicality for
I'm
your
telling you.
Cowboys. He gonna be able to play strong and free in the
Yeah.
crunch. If one of them other guys go down, he gonna be great for y'all. Watch.
All right.
Came in for us was great.
He might come
He
start.
made one play. He'll start for us because we don't have
Yeah.
anything.
Hey, you guess what? Your boy
battle
tried
Malik
him.
Hooker.
He
Malik
tried
Hooker
him down
for
the
us.
seam, got it picked off. Josh Allen, man, you got it.
All right, well, we're never going to be able to shut up these Bronco boys because the Broncos are making moves. I mean, we're
made
going to
one.
keep talking about them all year long, it looks like. But let's move on because we've been talking about on the show for a while if they're going to move it to an 18-game season, right? And we have different opinions about that. But Mike Florio did have something to say about this. He had an interesting potential schedule that is floating around. So I want to play what he said and talk about this.
One other wrinkle, because it could be hard to sell 18 to the rank and file. There's an idea floating around, 18 games, every player limited to 17 games. So we're going to have an 18-game season, but hey, I don't have to play more than 17. Maybe you can get enough guys to vote for that CBA that J.C. Treader may soon negotiate with the league. But that's what we should be keeping an eye on. How quickly do these talks move, and do we get to 18, and will there be this caveat that the players are limited to 17 games?
So, very interesting. He also made another point about maybe the quarterback playing every single game and
Yeah.
special teams. So, it's interesting, Skip. Is this a good idea or a bad one?
Let me let Aqib start this.
Okay.
I want to hear what a player says, and then I'll respond to what he says because I'm going to look at this upside down from the way you guys look at it.
Yeah.
Go
I don't-
first.
I don't have no problem with it. It's the money going up dramatically, right?
Yes.
The game going
I
up.
assume that would mean you'd get another game check, right?
Exactly.
Whatever.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it-
And you're not playing the
Okay,
extra game.
that's
3
correct.
I mean, you look at all right. I made $10 million a year, 17 weeks. It's like 500 something a game.
It
You know
is.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now boys who not my caliber of DB, y'all making 20 a year. Y'all got one extra week to play.
Okay.
Like, come on, man. When motherfuckers was in the 5th grade and was dreaming, I'm going to the NFL, the make or break point wasn't, man, well, if they play 18 games, I ain't going. Bro, they play 18, I'm going to sit this shit out. I'm going to change my profession, fam.
Good.
Like, it wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't
Agreed.
really got a problem with it, man. They add an
Yep.
extra game. Guys going to now just mean if you feel that little thigh bruise a little bit and
That's your game.
you know what I'm saying? Now I could just sit
Yep.
this one out. You know what I'm saying? A game where I might have took some Toradol and played. Now I might just sit that out. Let that be my one game. So
Okay.
it is what it is, man. I don't think guys gonna really give a fuck, honestly, man. That money will make you go to work. That money will make you go to work nowadays.
What do you think?
Yeah, I have no problem going to 18 games, especially if you take out a preseason game, so you're still getting basically the same amount of weeks. I'm not fully on board with mandatory having one guy sit out or having
Yeah.
a player, can only play in 17 games, you're going to have to miss a game. In reality, just get 2 bye weeks. Give them an extra week to recover. Might make the season a little bit longer, but now you have an extra bye week with an
they said
18-game
that
schedule.
what it was
They get a mandatory recovery week, and they don't miss a game that could potentially lead to implications in the postseason. Imagine being a quarterback going into a game, a meaningful game, and they come up and say, hey, your leading receiver's out this game, by the way. We got to work around that. He's a healthy scratch. I know injuries happen, but he's a healthy scratch. Hey, we're going into this game against a good pass rush, which most teams have. Your left tackle's out this game because, he's already done 17. He's got to sit out this last
But
one
are
or
you
whatever
saying
it may
that it'd
be.
The NFL's decision, which game they set out, or the team's decision? 'Cause
Well, it would. So
would have to be
basically,
the team.
what
It's the
he's
team's
saying, it would come down.
decision,
It would be a strategical thing where the
So
team
you're
would
like, hey,
figure
listen,
out
we're playing
when
a
to
team
sit
that
out
we
a
don't
player.
need this receiver
Right.
today.
But I just think that's tough to push if you have just to say, hey, this guy's one of your best players on offense or defense. He's a healthy scratch. Say you miss the playoffs by 1 game at the end of the year and they don't win that game because they sat some of their players. I mean, it's just,
Okay.
yeah, you're going to have to start playing chess. But if they do go to 18 games, I think maybe getting 2 bye weeks would make more sense rather than only allowing guys to play 17 games because that, to me, gives each team a disadvantage in a game that could significantly have implications on the
like
postseason.
the 2 bye weeks.
I think I believe they said 2 bye weeks would be in that 18 games.
Okay,
But
yeah.
like I'm with Cody. If you're gonna do 18 games, make it 18 games.
Yeah.
You know, nobody sits out because now it's pretty much a glorified preseason game. So what game do we know matters? Like, is it the beginning of the season to get us to a point where we can sit guys at the end of the season?
Yep.
Or are we working our ass off to try to win that game at the end of the season to get in the playoffs? And now we got to sit our guys. Like,
But I don't think it's going to be like that. It's like, I don't know not one person, not one player who went through the whole year and didn't go in the training room.
yeah,
That's
no,
right.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think it's just, it's them on the cusp games where, like, I could play, but shit, I could sit too because my shit hurt. Just those games right there, that'll be your rest
But
game,
a
bro.
lot of players ain't gonna be on that.
Yeah.
In that situation.
But I mean, now you will be. Like, you got to miss one anyway, fam. You might as well miss it
miss
when
this
you
one.
when you unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Take
But you
this
still
week.
have that, even if they don't make you miss one, you still have that option regardless. Guys do it all the time where, all right, let's sit out this game. Maybe we're not playing a great opponent.
Right.
Which is fine.
And guys do it right
I'm just
now.
saying, yeah, exactly. But instead of making it mandatory for the guys that don't have to miss any time, I think there's going to be some pushback with that.
Yeah, man. I really don't. As a player, I really don't mind it. I'm getting paid, especially them dollars going up. Hey, I get to sit out again. Cool, I get to sit out again.
Yeah.
But I think it's as a team, right?
Yeah.
As the back and forth and jostling for division titles and all that, comes as the season grows. I think it's going to have a major effect on that part of the game. But other than that, it is what it is. 17, 18, 19.
Okay, so I'm glad I heard the player's perspective. Now I'm just talking from a fan and observer's perspective. I love this idea. The more I thought about it, the better it got. This is going to happen, and it's going to be 18 with 17 max for the players, where you do have to play chess and decide which game you're going to rest which starter, including the quarterback, which would be the key one.
Yeah.
And let's look at from the owner's perspective. Okay, so now Robert Kraft says, I want every team to play at least one game overseas because every game they play overseas is like an event. It's sold out. It's craziness in Europe or South America or Mexico, wherever they are.
In Australia.
It's just craziness. The world wants your game. I know soccer is very popular all over the world, maybe beyond anything I can even fathom, but so is this. This is it to me, the National Football League. The owners know they have the commodity, the product. It only grows year after year after year. The excitement for it, the anticipation of it. We're talking about it in mid-March because people will watch us talk about it in mid-March. It's become a 365-day sport. So the owners are sitting back saying, well, why wouldn't we just do another game?
Yeah.
Is it going to water down the depth because people are going to get hurt? And I agree with your point. I've been covering this game a whole lot longer than you played it. I have never known one player who went unscathed through an entire schedule, even back in the days when I first started, when it was 14 games.
Right.
14, then it was 16, then it was 17, and it's going to go book it. It's going to go to 18 games. And I don't mind the 17 because now the NFLPA will say, okay, so you're going to pay us for an extra game, but we don't have to play the extra game, right? Well, beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, how can
Spread
you...
it out throughout the
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
pretty
So
much.
now this becomes the equivalent of who do you pick for homecoming in college football, right? Don't you want somebody you can kick their ass in front of your boosters, right? Okay, so now, like next year, Tennessee or somebody, let's say this was happening next year, would Tennessee see backup quarterbacks all year long, or whoever the worst team, Arizona, whoever it's going to be, right? Won't they just see backup quarterbacks every week?
Yep.
Because everybody's going to pick Arizona or Tennessee as the homecoming opponent where, let's play our backup against them.
Well, good for them.
I
They have
know.
an opportunity.
Okay, well, that's last shall be first in this league. That's the way it operates. And then in the big picture, it puts the onus and the emphasis on you better have your backup quarterback ready, which they're going to play anyway, because they always do. The starter always gets hurt a little bit, right? A few games, if not a lot. And so you're going to have to strategically pick your spot with him, knowing that your backup is ready to play that game at a high level and get you through and maybe get you the dub that you deserve to win because you're just better than them, right? And then strategically, along the trail, you're going to have to pick this offensive lineman, then that one, and then this one, and that linebacker, and that pass rusher, and you're just going to have to mix and match where each player gets 2 bye weeks, except they're
choosing one of them.
You're choosing one. The team gets a bye week, and then each player gets 2 weeks off. Like a 2-week break.
I don't think it'll be a chess game like that, because I'm telling you, Bub, no. Like if you go through any one of your seasons, you would say, "Oh, well, shit, my week would have been this week."
Okay, well
I couldn't even walk this week and I played.
I know.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna handle itself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So and then you just map it out like, all right, weeks 13 through 18. If I do got a guy who ain't missed shit yet, all right, I want to sit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it'll handle itself, man. With the injuries that happen, the little shit that you don't see on TV, it'll handle itself, man.
Okay, but if this had been proposed as just adding another game that you have to play, you guys would balk at it, I think,
The same thing
right?
could happen, though.
Okay.
Like, all right, we got 18 weeks. Guys still will miss a game.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have
Even if it
injuries.
isn't mandatory.
Yeah.
Even if it ain't mandatory, like
Okay.
if it is, or if it don't matter, you still going to get hurt
But
this
that-
game.
so to that
you're going to miss
point-
a week or two.
To that point, then, don't make it mandatory you have to miss. That just puts more pressure on the coaches and the training staff to know, all right, we might have to have guys sit a couple of games. We might have to strategically do this to where we're going to have our starters rest a little bit.
Okay.
And it's not a game at the end of the season where we're already set or solidified in the playoffs, but you make it mandatory. Now you are putting teams that are bubble teams in a bad position. Teams might need all of their guys to play those games. It may come down to 1 or 2 games at the end of the year. And if you look back on the season and say, well, damn, we lost the game that we shouldn't have lost, but we had to sit our starting quarterback and our starting left tackle and our starting edge rusher, and we lose that game, they're going to look back and say, well, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
Because if we didn't sit that game, we'd be in the playoffs right now.
Okay, so what's the alternative to non-mandatory?
Just have 2 bye weeks. Go 18. If you're going to go 18 games, have
All right.
2 bye weeks to
Bye
give
weeks.
them an extra week to recover. Make sure they're not close together. Make sure they're at least 4 to 6 weeks spread apart, those bye weeks. And then that way you can go 18 games. And if you need a guy to sit and a training staff that comes in and says, hey, I think it'd be smart to rest Aqib this game. He's been playing hard. His ankle's been bothering him. Let's get him ready for next week. That's fine. You can still do that, but it's not mandatory anymore. I just think that the mandatory side of things is going to put some of these teams in a bad situation that maybe can't afford to rest some of their
They only doing that for the PA. For the PA to say, all right, that's
Say,
cool.
Yeah.
Like we adding an extra
That's
week,
the
but we
PA.
really not adding an extra game for
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
So that's gonna make the players say, all right, fuck it, we'll sign off on that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it could.
But
And
the fans
if
still
they
get
do,
to
I
see their
think
team play.
exactly.
Yeah.
The team still make another week worth of money. You know what I'm saying? And the fans.
Do you
get
think
to see
they
it
would,
again.
and this might affect the money, but do you think if they did do that, they would look at expanding from 53-man roster to maybe allowing them to add a couple extra players on the roster for the guys that did sit so they had more backups and more depth? Or do you
I
think
don't
they'd
think you
still-
have to.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to, man.
Okay. Yeah.
It's enough backups already. It's
Who
enough
want the
injuries.
playing time?
You're gonna get to week 8 and be like, well, shit, we done had everybody sit already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are all
Yeah.
pretty much fine with this.
I'm shocked.
And
Yeah.
the reason I say that, just to clarify real quick, is because when you are inactive on game day, you still count towards the 53-man roster, right? So you have a couple guys that are inactive. I'm just saying, if you have those guys that
maybe
sit,
55.
would they not count towards the 53-man roster? And then you can maybe get a practice squad player to be a backup or a third-string guy. I think
Yeah.
that'd be something to look
And
at.
how the money going up right now, I don't think the current players have a problem playing another game.
And it ain't
Yeah.
like they out there playing in the 90s.
Exactly.
Ain't hit nobody, can't do nothing.
Exactly.
It's flag.
Yeah.
You play 20 games.
Yeah. Well, listen, as a fan, we would absolutely love another game. In
That's
the
a
Super Bowl,
fact.
right? So,
Yeah.
all right, we talked about the
Oh,
Broncos.
and last quick point
Yeah.
before I forget it. This would push the Super Bowl potentially
Back, yeah.
back to
Mid-February.
mid-February, and there's a President's Day holiday on a Monday, always in mid-February, and it could be the Super Bowl Sunday to Monday, where you'd be able to celebrate Super Bowl Sunday, knowing that Monday, a lot of people take off anyway.
I'm about to
but-
say,
Yeah.
the day after the Super Bowl should be a mandatory
For
holiday.
holidays,
anyway.
well,
Hey,
yeah,
hello.
yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, then it would
That
be
week
2 for
warped.
1 because it would be President's Day and Super Bowl holiday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I like it.
Should've
So
been
anyway,
anyway.
yeah, that's why that even makes more sense. And
Both American
But if
holidays.
they're getting rid of a preseason game, I thought it'd be in August that they were adding the game.
I
You're
think
telling
they.
me it's on the
I mean,
back end?
Florio talked about how it could get pushed in
Right.
the
Because
Super
they don't
Bowl.
got that date set.
That's why they haven't
Yeah.
set the date.
Yeah, they don't even have a date yet for that Super Bowl game.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're probably right. It probably is going to happen.
Oh.
Skip with that.
And extending the season 1 week is great for. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm all in.
Because every
One more week
every
in
year
here.
I'm
Yeah.
depressed after the season. So one more week.
Yeah.
Okay, but we talked about the Broncos obviously getting Jalen Waddle. Now let's talk about the Dolphins losing Jalen Waddle
Yeah.
because I do want to look at their receiver room because I'm just a little confused. Obviously, you got Tutu Atwell. He has 105 targets, but other than that, do you know these guys? I mean, they're
Yeah, Taj Washington, shout out, went to USC. I watched him
Okay.
play. He's a good player, but
he's got a whole
got 3 catches.
He's got
he's
three
got all
catches.
three. Yeah, he's got 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 catches.
He's a late round draft.
Okay, so only one receiver over 100 career receptions. That is not ideal. So obviously Miami is trying to rebuild with 7 picks in the top 100 this year. But I'm just really confused who Malik Willis is going to throw the ball to. This is a lot of changes. Head coach. Now you got a new quarterback, Cody. If you're Malik Willis, how are you feeling about everything going down in Miami right now?
Yeah, I'd be frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, this is a frustrating situation for a guy that is trying to prove he can be a starter in the NFL.
Yep.
You know, even though he signed a 3-year, $67 million contract with $45 million guaranteed, which I'm sure he's very thankful for, this is still the NFL. This is a production-based business. You don't get a ton of opportunities.
No.
And, you know, you may not get a ton of extra opportunities regardless of what your contract looks like. And right now, for Malik Willis, this is his 3rd team in the last 5 years. And this could very well be, I hope it's not, but it very well could be his last opportunity
I agree.
with an organization to prove that he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And now the team that you just signed with went and traded away your number 1 receiver that's left on the roster, and also John Eric Sullivan, who's their GM, with this move and a couple others, has made it very clear that they are in a rebuild. Now, with that being said, I can't blame the Dolphins for that, right? I think they're doing what's best for their organization, and you know, they realized that they didn't have a roster that was in a win-now situation, so they wanted to load up on draft capital and build a roster that can hopefully be competitive in the future, which I love for them and I think is important, but I just don't love it for Malik Willis. You know, as a quarterback, when you get these opportunities, the situation and the talent that's around you is so important, especially for a guy like Willis, who's only had 6 starts in his career and doesn't have a ton of experience. So putting him in this situation is not advantageous for his career. And you know, what confuses me when I think about this situation is I just have a couple questions. I wonder, going into this offseason or going into this free agency process, if Malik Willis knew that this was the plan the entire time. Because if it was, I would assume that he would probably look at other places to go, even if it was for less money, so he could go get a legit opportunity to prove that he can be a starter. Or the Dolphins, if they knew this was the plan, why would you go sign Malik Willis for $45 million guaranteed instead of maybe bringing in an older veteran and see what you got in Quinn Ewers for a year? Let those guys play.
Yeah.
You know, let the season play out and then go from there. Because if Malik Willis plays bad this year and he struggles with a roster that's not right now a winning roster, and the Dolphins are right back into position next year with a top 5 or even top 10 pick, I would not be surprised if they go draft a quarterback and give up on Malik Willis that early, or at least put him in a quarterback competition, especially with the potential talent that will be in that 2027 quarterback draft class.
And the money is not so drastic they couldn't just walk away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, I don't love it for him. Obviously I want to see these guys get a chance to succeed, and a guy like Malik Willis may be getting his last opportunity to prove that he's going to be a starter. So I would just hope that they would put a team around him to help him be successful. But right now, that hasn't been the case.
Yeah.
I can see it both ways from Malik. You know what I'm saying? He can hate it. And y'all took away my 1, my 2, my defensive best players gone. Like you could look at it like that. But when you come into those situations with Minka and Chubb and Tyreek and Watt, shit, it's a lot of pressure when you come in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big egos in there, and they expect shit to look a certain way right now.
Yeah.
And if it don't, you're going to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear the rumbles. So that could be a difficult situation to come into. Now, you come into a situation where they clean house, you sign Tutu, we get a speed guy. One of those first-round picks probably going to be your other number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? You bringing a young guy who he probably going to listen to you more. He's going to be looking to you to lead him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
a fresh start.
Yeah, a fresh start, a fresh building, all new bodies in the building, man. You return some O-linemen. You got some top draft picks. You can get your O-line right. So I don't know. He may be looking at it like I'm the man in the building right now. Like instead of coming into a whole bunch of guys who they the man and I'm joining their building, motherfuckers is joining my building. It's my job to crank this thing up and create the tempo around here. So I could see it both ways, man.
Yeah,
So
that's a good perspective.
I'm not sure I would be all the way mad being part of a rebuild with a team with a lot of draft picks, some money. And you know what I'm saying? Good things may happen for y'all in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I just, just observing Willis and his character through this whole process, he seems really excited. And I'm pretty sure they didn't keep him absolutely in the dark about what they were going to do going forward. That being said, man, like a little bit going to what Lee said is, you're now looking to build a team around me. All right, I'm the quarterback, I'm the main guy. Whether it's a young team or you use this abundance of draft picks to make a trade to get someone that I like better. Now, we just talked about Waddle. Is he a number one? Is he not? To be determined. So that, uncertainty maybe was weighing on Sullivan's mind. Maybe it was weighing on the new head coach's mind. You got Patullo coming over. Now, I got a couple first-round draft picks and 4 third rounds. I might be looking at somebody in Philly that I just worked with to come over and be my number one. So, you have that option to trade for a guy like A.J. Brown. I ain't leave, so I ain't going to say it's going to happen. But, that would be a good option. We don't know the relationship between Patullo and A.J. Brown. There was some noise over there, but if I'm Patullo and I'm not, I got a young offensive coordinator that they hired,
With the Dolphins?
Yeah, Bobby Slovic.
Slovic.
Yeah. So I think that may be a match made in heaven for the Dolphins to
But
build
I know
something
A.J.
real
Brown
quick.
wants to leave, but would he want to leave that bad?
It's a trade. You ain't got no choice.
It's Miami.
It's a Miami, right?
True.
And
He's
it's a
going to be
trade.
having a good time.
You go where you're
Number
told.
one receiver in Miami. Hey, at
Look.
this
Think he's
point,
frustrated with Jalen Hurts, though, and you're going to just go on a rebuild?
Look, if the trade presents itself and Philly like it, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Regardless of what A.J. Brown want to do. So,
But they're gonna
yeah,
have to
I'm
deal with
gonna be
the A.J.
optimistic.
Brown
That's my
backlash.
job as the quarterback and the leader is to be optimistic about the future of the organization that I just joined. And shit, Malik Willis, he nice, man. He nice. So,
and who wouldn't want that opportunity? Like I know you say this might be his only opportunity, right? Would you not want the opportunity to say, all right, well, they building this shit around me. I got a little input in what's going on. Like that's a great opportunity to me.
If that were the case and they did speak to him beforehand and say, hey, we're going to treat this like you're our rookie quarterback, right? We're going to treat it to where we know we're maybe 2 years away. We're going to sign you. We're going to build around you. We're going to stock up on these draft picks. They have 7 picks in the first 3 rounds. We're going to go get a number 1 wide receiver at 11. We're going to go get someone else to help you on offense or maybe a defensive playmaker at 30. And we have a 2-year, 3-year plan with you. Then great. Yeah, or tackle offensive line. Then great. I would say, all right, I'm comfortable with that. If that conversation didn't happen, though, which again, this is all speculation, then I'm sitting there as Malik Willis thinking, well, shit, this might be my last opportunity. There's a lot of very talented quarterbacks in next year's draft class, regardless of the contract I just signed. You got rid of my number 1 option. You got rid of key pieces on the defensive side of the ball. We have a new first-time head coach. I'm working with a play caller I haven't worked with before. This is my shot. Like, yeah, you're still going to take that opportunity. I would too. Anybody would sign up for that. It's just so important in the NFL for a quarterback to be put in a great situation, especially with someone with a lot of experience. So I would have hoped that they would have given him more of an opportunity, more of a chance to succeed, especially his first year, because that confidence is going to be huge in year 1.
But he's not a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not. But I'm saying they treated it as such.
Yeah, they may have.
You're a young guy we just brought in. We're going to give you time to develop.
It's a safe play for the Dolphins, for sure. It's definitely a safe play.
Would you rather work with you join a team and they got like a Tyreek Hill there, or you join the team and you get a first round, a top 15 receiver? You know he's going to be productive if he's top 15. Which one of them receivers would you, as a former quarterback, would you rather work with?
I'm always going to work with the guy that's proven. I would like to work with a Tyreek Hill, a Jalen Waddle.
Personality don't matter.
At the end of the day, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, you can work with those guys that have proven to put up big-time numbers in the NFL. We just talked about A.J. Brown and some of the off-field issues and the situations that he's had during his time in Philly and even in Tennessee, but he's still producing at a high level. As a quarterback, you've got to know how to handle some of those personalities. You're not going to lead everybody the same way. Some guys, I can go up to and cuss out and we can get into it a little bit and I get the most out of them. Some guys may not respond to that. And I just learn how to lead that type of way. But yeah, I'm taking the talent, the proven guy, over a draft pick, which is a question mark every time. You know, I want to take a guy that I know is proven in the NFL.
Wait, how many guys did you ever cuss out? You.
Skip, you know what? I talked a little shit back when I was playing. Yeah,
Be surprised, Skip.
I did.
The competitive Cody.
That would be very
The
surprising.
competitive Cody pop out.
Don't let. I know I'm very professional on this couch, but no, you can ask some of my former teammates. I took a lot of pride in being a great leader and demanding the most out of.
I don't know. I ain't played quarterback, but I don't know if I want the guy who he proven he do this, but when I say, hey, let's meet in the morning at this meeting, he no-show me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want that. I might want the young guy who's hungry. I know he cold. You a top 15 pick, bro.
Yeah.
You damn near proven.
But
you know
you're
what I'm
a
saying?
But it's still
like
a
that.
question mark. It's you know.
But you damn near proven.
No, I
though.
agree.
Like,
I
you
agree.
know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
I might want the little young buck, you know what I'm saying? If I say be here at 6 a.m., he gonna be here at 5:50, waiting on me with the coffee.
The best
You feel
receivers
me?
I played with were the guys that texted me that said, hey, get your ass here at 6, let's throw, instead of me having to reach out.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might want that little young guy.
How many of them is at the receiver position?
I had a lot at SC. I played with Nelson Aguilar. I played with Marquise Lee.
Yeah.
Robert Woods was a guy like that, man. I was for Juju Smith-Schuster at SC.
You
I-
played with some stuff.
I had some
for
guys,
real.
man. Yeah, Dory
Some good
Jackson.
names
We
right
got
there.
to use him on offense
Yeah.
a little bit.
Dory,
so.
I'm sure.
So, Aqib, you played for Jeff Hafley once upon a time in Tampa as your DB coach.
Young
What did you
Jeff.
tell me a few weeks back when he got hired? What did you love the most about him? His energy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's Mr. Excitement. He's getting everybody fired up. So if I'm Malik, I'm concerned, to your point, but I'm more excited than I'm concerned to all your points because I'm looking at these picks. This ties for the all-time record in the first 3 rounds. They got 7 picks.
Wow.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna get 5 starters out
okay,
of that.
you're going to get because you have to, right? And I don't know John Eric Sullivan from Green Bay. I don't know how good he's going to be, but
Agreed.
he better
He better be good.
He's got the ammo sitting right in his lap,
Yeah.
right? So they got 11 and 30 in the first round. I guarantee you one of those two will be a receiver. And if it's at 11, it's going to be a home run receiver,
Yep.
right?
Tyson.
It's going to be somebody
Tate or
real-
Tyson.
that is correct. And if you land one of those, now you've got your new guy, and maybe he'll be a little more receptive to look up to you because you don't have a big body of work, but your body of work in Green Bay was sensational.
Right.
It was off the charts great. It was just 3 games, but especially the game against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Man, it's big time numbers where you just, your eye test told you, oh, he can play.
I can win with that guy.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay, so I look at the receiver room, and I like Tutu Atwell because he can run.
Yeah.
He can run by people. And I never loved Jalen Tolbert at Dallas, but I got to say, he caught the game-winning touchdown pass one night at Pittsburgh on a Sunday night, and against Green Bay in that Sunday night game at Dallas last year, the Micah returns game. Remember, in overtime, Jalen Tolbert caught a huge ball down on the boundary that set up their winning
on the corner.
the
Yeah,
tying
I remember
field
that,
goal.
yeah.
Remember that on the deep ball?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's been there and done all that. And then Theo Weiss, I watched him at OU, and he's pretty good. And that Terrace Marshall, when he was at LSU, you know, they can run. I don't know, there's some stuff in there. And if you add 2 baby receivers, one of them a stud, then all of a sudden you say, okay, so in free agency, they went and signed 2 tackles who I don't know, offensive tackles, but they've started a bunch of games, and I don't know how to evaluate them, but they got to be a little better.
Yeah.
And then they got Uche and Ojabo to rush the passer.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they could be a little bit of a surprise, you know, like a little bit where if you win 5 or 6 games and you know, all of a sudden the energy's high in the building. I don't know. I don't hate it for him. I just don't.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, if you're Malik Willis, to your point, you want these opportunities. He's obviously not going to shy away from it, and it's important in the NFL to control what you can control.
Yeah.
Just with him being on his 3rd team in 5 years, and this might be your shot. You just got paid.
Yeah.
Your value is extremely high.
Yeah.
You want to prove that you're worth that type of investment, and to do so, sometimes as an inexperienced quarterback, you need the weapons around you. So hopefully they draft well.
Yeah.
Hopefully they continue to build the roster. Hopefully they do have a 2 or 3 year plan with him that's going to benefit him, so they don't just go and get a new quarterback next year and put him right back in a quarterback competition. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it would be more beneficial if you ask me if I'm Malik Willis. I would have loved to keep Jalen Waddle on the roster and have Devon Achane and have that type of offense.
And by the way, Achan's still there.
Yeah,
you got-
at the end of the day,
For now, we'll see.
this is a Bobby Slowick offense.
Okay.
This is a Kyle Shanahan product. Bro, the receivers, I don't like to say they don't matter. You know what I'm saying? In this offense. But
Like mix and match.
this offense
Yeah.
is going to make the receivers better. You know what I'm saying? As long as they running that ball, they got the running back to do it. They got the picks to get the O-line right. As long as they running that ball, man. Jalen Tolbert, he'll look like the best Jalen Tolbert.
Okay,
Yeah.
he will.
Yeah.
He
You know what I'm
will.
saying?
Yeah, and I just want to see Malik be successful, man. I'm rooting for the guy. I think he can be.
Well, if he is, and they got him for whatever $22 million a year, that's a steal, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Right?
2-year play.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. It's a 2-year play.
Yeah.
They looking to do
Hopefully they stick with
2
that and
years.
they don't go get a guy next year.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that most of you you like this opportunity from Malik Willis.
I mean, it's dangerous. It's a little dangerous because it
in
could
the
go
field.
south
Yeah,
fast, man.
but we're gonna see if he can,
start,
if he
you
can
got a
lead
option.
the guys.
Starting quarterback at 50.
And who you may never get an opportunity,
Yeah.
so at least
Exactly.
he has one. You
Right.
know, so I
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
I hear
Got
you
an
on that.
opportunity,
Off
you better
4
take it. You
games
better
last
stand
year.
up and take
3
it.
games.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, it's tax season, and everybody's talking about money, refunds, bills, and all of that. But here's one thing that people forget: it's credit. So getting your credit over 600 could save you about $2,000 the next time you finance a car. That's basically a whole tax refund staying in your pocket. If your credit isn't where you want it to be, or you're just starting out, check out Kickoff. Kickoff helps you build credit by improving the key factors that determine it. When you open an account, it diversifies your credit mix, and every on-time monthly kickoff payment builds payment history. And because the payments are small, your credit utilization gets healthier too. So plans start at just $5 a month with no hidden fees and 0 interest, and you can sign up right from your phone in minutes. Users who started with credit under 600 grow an average of 86 points just by paying on time. Start building credit with Kickoff today. Get your first month as little as $1 when you go to getkickoff.com/arena. That's get, and then it's KIKOFF.com/arena. Now let's get into it. We got to talk about the Eagles a little bit because we've been talking a lot about the A.J. Brown trade, but the Eagles signed receiver Hollywood Brown this week to a 1-year deal that a lot of people think in Philly that this is going to be the wide receiver 3 for Philly. So Brown, as of late, though, hasn't had the performance that he's had, I think, since 2021 that he had in Baltimore, but still could be a great option. But, TJ, what does the Eagles signing Hollywood Brown mean for Philly's wide receiver room?
Much needed depth. I look at their group outside of those top 3: John Wilson, Darius Cooper, Britton Covey, Quez Watkins. Now, Hollywood hasn't had a year like you mentioned because he hasn't been that number 1 guy anymore. He's relative to 2 to 3. But his production last year, 49 receptions, 587 yards. But the key thing was 12 yards per catch. So as a third receiver, you're going to get limited opportunities, limited targets. So you better make the most of them. And I think he did that last year with, almost 600 yards and 12 yards per catch. Now I'm looking at it 2 ways for the Eagles. Now you have 3, solidified receivers as your starting trio and 3 veteran receivers that can come in and, really ground your offense with the running game not being as successful last year as it was the year before. You have 3 reliable guys, 3 big play guys, 3 guys that can catch the ball and create yards after the catch. Now that's one way. Now another way is whatever happens with A.J. Brown, if he's not there, then you have 2 veteran receivers to surround a rookie receiver with, which he can come in, learn from those guys, integrate into the offense, be a third option, or depending on how high you draft him and what you do with that trade pick, be a number 2 because now you have your number 1 that oh man, why am I blanking right now?
It's all right.
Devontae Smith as your number 1. You draft a guy to be number 2, and you still have Hollywood in there to be your third receiver. So I think it's a win-win for the Eagles either way. But most importantly, it creates depth for them. They needed that depth, dire at receiver position, and I think it was a great pickup for them.
Yeah, they definitely establishing depth, and they establishing depth for a reason.
I was waiting for it.
They established
We
their-
know
What's
Lee
that
was gonna
reason,
say
Lee?
Because
this.
somebody gonna have to establish themselves as the number 2 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the pudding, man. Once Adam Scheffner get on here and start, man, it's in the pudding. Bro gone. As soon as that ticket dropped to 20 million, cap hit or whatever, man, bro gone. So they got a first-round pick. I think that 23rd pick might be another receiver. All the
Agreed.
receivers in this draft.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
I think
Bunch of
that'll
them.
be one. And then you let that receiver, Hollywood, they're going to battle to see who's the number 2 receiver. Devontae, for sure, going to be the number 1 receiver. So that's what the signing of Hollywood means to me. Man. You getting ready for the departure of AJ.
See,
Clear as day.
Clear.
I-
He's
Clear
gonna
as
die
day.
on this hill.
I still don't agree with that. I think AJ has a good chance of still being in Philly this year. But the reason I think they went and got Hollywood Brown was because of what TJ said for the depth. They lost Jahan Dotson, who was their number 3 wide receiver last year. They lost him in free agency, so they had to add another number 3 receiver to that room because the drop-off after Dotson was significant. They didn't have another guy that could step up, and they went and got a proven veteran
I felt
player.
like the drop off to Jahan was significant.
It
Go
was,
ahead,
yeah, but he still had some, he had a couple
A little
of games
juice.
that had some big plays. It wasn't
Quez?
big-time
You
numbers.
don't like Quez?
I'm talking statistically, though, the
Yeah.
production that they've had. Obviously, their top 2 guys, Brown and Smith, is who they want to get the football to. Then you add in Goddard as well. It's another guy. They get most of the receptions. But they needed that number 3. And the reason I think they needed a number 3 was because of their struggles on third down last year, right? When you run this McVay-Shanahan type scheme that they're going to run with Sean Mannion, you're not going to have Hollywood Brown be a part of a lot of the base offensive sets, right? You're going to have A.J. Brown, you're going to have Devontae Smith, you're going to get some 12 personnel, some 13 personnel, but where you start to see those 3 wide sets and those 11 personnel groupings is on third down. The Eagles struggled heavily last year on third down. Now you bring in a veteran like Hollywood Brown, put him in the slot, you're going to get a lot of the focus is going to be on the outside with your Z and your X with Brown and Smith. Now let Hollywood win some one-on-ones in the slot. Let him go up against a nickel. Let him go up against a linebacker, win some of those slot routes. I don't need you to come out and put up, 1,000 yards every year. I need 400 to 500 yards, some big plays on third down, take the top off the defense a couple times with your speed, and then we can have some production from there. So if the roster stays how it is right now and they don't make a move with A.J. Brown, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Hurts,
I don't know. The
Dallas
writing's
Goddard,
on
Devontae
the
Smith.
wall. AJ's out.
If they keep those guys, this is arguably the best offensive unit in football when
Okay.
it comes to the skill players. It really is. With that wide receiver trio, and then
think it's
Goddard
lit.
with what he did last year, and then Saquon Barkley in the backfield. But that's a big if. If they do keep him, I think it'll be obviously a very productive offense. If they don't, then they're going to look into the draft, and now you have a solid number 2.
So what's going to make you say AJ going? When they draft a receiver with that 23rd pick?
That's
Oh,
They
then
don't.
I think that'll
finally,
do
are
it
you
for
going to
me.
wake up that
When they
It
draft
ain't
a receiver, it's over with.
Everything you're seeing on the internet now, that ain't enough.
No.
But they didn't go. My whole point was the
I'm
reason
still on the fence with it. I
You're
will,
going
like
to
I
need
said,
2
I
more
will.
direct
he's
tweets
staying.
from A.J.
I'm
Brown.
on the fence with it, man.
What else do you
Look.
need? Okay.
So Howie Roseman just drives me crazy as a Cowboy fan because he just runs Super Bowl rings around Jerry Jones time and time again, and he just struck again. I'm a big fan of Hollywood Brown's.
Yeah,
I think he is a professional receiver. And if you look at his resume, he played at Oklahoma with Baker Mayfield. Then he played the next year with Kyler Murray and made first-team All-American at Oklahoma. I'm talking about first-team All-American receiver. And then the Ravens traded up in the first round to take him, and he got to play with Lamar for a couple of years, 3 years. And then he goes to Kyler in Arizona for 2 years, but Kyler was mostly hurt, so he gets stuck with a bunch of backups, Colt McCoys and Trace McSorleys and those guys. And then he played a couple of years with Mahomes, and he did play in a Super Bowl game, and he has played in 6 playoff games. And I'm not saying he's a number 1, but he can at least, to Aqib's point, he can compete as a number 2 because he ran 4.27 coming out of college. He's going to play at 29, so he doesn't run 4.27 anymore. But can he run 4.4 now? I'll bet he can run 4.4.
Yeah.
And he just knows how to play football. And I always saw him as this sort of shifty, slippery kid from Miami, from Hollywood, Florida. That's why he got to be called, he's Marquise Brown, he's Hollywood Brown. But he just knows how to get open, and he will get open for Jalen Hurts. And for what it's worth, the underdog mock draft right now has Omar Cooper Jr. going 23 to Philadelphia. Okay, it's one of those. Whoever Howie knows he's the guy at 23 is going to take him. And I'm with you guys. AJ is long gone. On June 2nd, he will be cut when it falls from $40 million to a $20 million cap.
Cody's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, Cody's hanging on. And
No, TJ too. TJ holding on too.
Are you?
It's you with me, Skip.
Look,
It's
Yeah.
you with me.
Skip doesn't like to admit that.
Yeah.
I'm leaning with y'all, but I'm just
Just me, Skip.
He's
You
like,
just
I want to
with
make
me,
it a
man.
group.
That's it.
yeah, I don't know.
I'll believe it once I see A.J. Brown traded to.
Once they draft that
Okay.
receiver, it's
Tweet.
over with.
I'm telling you,
He
They
doesn't
making us
draft
hold
the
out
draft,
too
he's not
long,
gonna
man.
believe it.
Make a play.
Cooper gonna fit good, and because it's gonna be a Mannion offense, a Sean
Yeah,
McVay
it will.
offense.
Yeah.
And Cooper gonna fit great.
He would fit.
He's gonna
He
be
would.
that Z insert block. He's
Yep.
all.
Yeah.
He gonna
So
fit
Jahan
great.
Dotson caught 18 balls last year. Hollywood can catch more than 18 balls. You know,
Agreed.
like it's a really sweet, veteran, savvy move. It's classic. Howie just sits back and says, "Oh, I'll take him, and we'll be just fine going forward."
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
I like
You've always
the way
been a
to go.
huge fan of Howie.
Well,
you would take Howie all
unfortunately,
day.
I am.
Yeah.
I wish he were my
I mean,
GM.
every catch
Yeah.
first.
You know,
Of course, it's
we always talk
individual.
about
talk
what if
about them
what if
third
quarterbacks switch places on teams? What if Howie and Jerry Jones switch places? What do you think would happen to the two franchises? Seriously, Dallas would win a Super Bowl in 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, with Howie pulling the strings, my God! Every move he,
He
makes,
hit on Jalen Hurts, man.
he did.
Yeah.
And I tweeted, you can go look it up. I tweeted in real time as soon as he took him in the second round. I said Jalen Hurts will change life in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz was the starter.
He
at
got
that
some
point.
shit for that pick too. You did
He
call
did.
it though, Skip. I do remember
Yeah.
that, but he got
Okay.
some shit because they're saying, "Why are you taking a quarterback in the second round? And you've got a quarterback here already."
And
Now look
Hey,
at him.
the vision. man.
now
No,
look,
'cause he
and,
know
and
he-
just when I thought Dallas Goedert was long gone, I don't know how he did this. I still don't get why Dallas Goedert would go back to Philadelphia for $3 million less, coming off his career year. So he's haunted me for years, and so now he's going to haunt me again next year.
But you said it because of Howie Roseman.
I know.
He takes
Yeah.
care of his players,
does.
and he's going to consistently put you in a position to win games. Guys want to play for that. Guys
You
want
want
to
to
win
be in a
rings.
winning environment.
Yeah.
You can get a meal, go somewhere
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
you losing, you got to move your whole family. It's a headache. It ain't worth
Right.
the $3 million. I want to
Yeah.
be here. I've been here my whole career. I know we're going to be in Super Bowl contention year
Yeah.
in and year out. I don't got to go to Buffalo or Wisconsin to play.
Buffalo's not too
Yeah, wait, hey, you might
At
get
least
some
you're in
shit
Super
for
Bowl
that.
contention.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Don't
there's
worry
other
like that.
places
Bills
I would
fan.
not want to go.
Now
over that.
come on, man. Y'all don't act like them,
Tennessee.
them is places that guys,
saying?
the winning is different, the culture, but I'm talking about just
Yeah.
in terms of
Being,
places to
yeah,
live.
being,
right?
yeah.
So
Buffalo cold is different kind of cold.
That's true. When I knew AJ was gone was when Howie, in his end of the year statement press conference, said, AJ Browns are hard to find, and that's like trade talk. Like, hey,
Hey.
I
Making
need
hard to
him
find.
down.
I know. Hey,
He's a
you
great
got it.
player.
But
Give
you
me
know you
some.
can find them.
Then Howie probably told Goddard, like, we got another 25 targets for you because AJ
That is
gonna be
correct.
gone.
Yeah.
that is
Like,
correct.
you know,
and
he-
you made the best point.
You feel me?
Last year, the locker room just got tense. Like it just.
It was just too much.
Yeah, it's like you're not sure. You're looking over your shoulder. Like, is he gonna?
It was just
okay
too
then?
much, man. Every time we talked about Philly, it was drama.
It was
Drama.
drama.
Every
yeah, it was
time.
never
So-
about something
Yeah.
going well.
Once it gets to that point, man, it's over with.
Yeah. Well, speaking of drama, we're going to talk about a little drama right now that we typically don't talk about something like this on the show. But this one I really want to get into because it was the Fanatics Flag Football Classic, okay? And Tom Brady took a shot at Joe Burrow. I do want to play it because I was pretty shocked by this.
Ladies and gentlemen watching, well, these are our two teams. You're looking at Team Founders and Wildcat. There it is, Wildcat. I'm sorry, I didn't. You can say it better if you feel like you can, Drewski.
That's what they called Joe the other night at those Oscar parties, Wildcat.
Wildcats. Okay. All right.
At least he's here. No
okay.
fashion shows to attend to.
Well, guys, there's actually more.
Okay, a wildcat at that Oscar party. He doesn't have fashion shows to go to. I will say the T.
Yeah, fill us in, Kinsey, because I know you.
Yeah, you know I know. The girl that apparently has been seen with Tom Brady and Joe Burrow, well, I mean, she's a baddie, I get it, but I think the guys are fighting over the girl, Alex Earl. So there's a little drama with the boys, but listening to what Tom Brady said, that was personal. He's talking about the Oscars where the girl was seen with Joe Burrow that night at the Oscars.
Yeah.
So, Skip, what do you make of the Tom Brady shot at Joe Burrow?
Tom Brady is jealous.
Well, Joe Burrow's got about 20 years on him. I don't know.
He does. I never thought I would see the day that Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. at age 48 would be obviously publicly jealous of a Joe Burrow over a 25-year-old influencer named Alex Earl. Do you know her by chance, or do you?
No, I know of her. Of course. I don't know her personally.
No collabs or nothing like that?
No collabs yet, but she's a boss, and she's a baddie, I will say.
Okay, all right, so this is what we do know. We did see the video of Tom Brady and Alex Earl getting up close and personal on that yacht over the holidays. We saw
now
that.
there's several videos of them
Yeah,
several events.
All right.
So they've been seeing each other.
Okay, and then People, and I think People is a very credible publication, they reported that at the Super Bowl that Tom Brady and Alex Earl were hooking up. So that got reported. And then we saw the picture on Oscar night in Los Angeles of Joe Brady riding in a car, a black SUV, with Alex Earl. She was with two friends of hers, a singer and another
Tate McRae
creator.
and somebody else.
Yeah, what's her name? I'll think of it, but whatever. But the point, we saw that, and then up on stage, Tom just takes a shot. Oh, he's the Wildcat at the Oscar parties, and it's just clear to me it's because he's hanging out with Tom's girl, the 25-year-old. I'm sorry, that's what I see, and I just
Joe
can't.
Burrow and Tom Brady fighting over you, like, this girl's got it.
She's got
What
it,
is
man.
Got something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Tom was really getting at everybody.
Yeah, he was.
Tom was
The
really
whole
on
time,
one.
yeah.
Oh, was he? The whole time?
That was locker room time right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
On everybody.
Okay, that makes it a little
see that,
lighter.
You don't see that part of Tom a lot, but that was locker room, witty, always. That's locker room time right there. But I don't think he said nothing bad. I don't really call it a shot at Burrow, because really he was saying, bro, you a Wildcat, you know what I'm saying? You was running around with my little shorty after the, like, that's really saying, bro, you running around with my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you took my girl, so I don't really look at it as a shot. And then he said, you ain't got no fashion shows?
Fashion shows.
Like, I mean, I ain't really see that as like a major shot to, that's almost a compliment. You know what I'm saying? You almost complimenting him like, yeah, you're a little Wildcat, running around with little Alex or whatever her name is, you feel me?
Yeah.
It was more like a compliment. The shots that we should be talking about is what he said to Jaden Daniels.
About his mother.
Bang, bang.
That
It
was
was major shots,
I'm
bro.
surprised
What did he
your
say? I
mother
didn't
let
see
you.
We ain't seen you on the, we surprised when you gonna be on the field. We ain't seen you on the field in 7-8 months.
Yeah.
Major shots, because he got all the injuries.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm saying?
but he said, I'm
Your
surprised
mama
your
let you
mother
Then he
let
said, I'm
you.
surprised your mama let you play
Yeah.
with all the protective mom
Tom's got too
rumors.
much
out.
hand on time.
Okay, she represents Jay. You know,
I know,
she's like,
and then
okay,
it's all the
right.
little rumors about the protective
Yeah,
mom.
I know,
Like,
I
them
got it.
major shots.
Those were worth
That-
it.
That was a below the belt shot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Both of them, really. Like,
Yeah.
if you got these injury prone
Yeah.
rumors out there, then I'm
Tom
surprised
Brady
you're going
roast
to be on the
continues,
field.
but this
Man,
time,
yeah.
yeah.
He taking
Listen,
fire on
hey,
everybody
But
else.
all in all, it's Tom Brady putting on the event, and he gonna make sure his shit popping now. This Tom Brady, he can say what the fuck he want to say because he's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And he know he gonna have people like us talking about his event.
Okay, but
So it's only right.
I'm going to remind you, he is still an owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he is the de facto GM of the Vegas Raiders.
Right.
And he is the lead analyst for Fox Sports,
That's what
right?
I
He's
think
the
the
lead
latter,
analyst.
The lead
okay?
analyst of all these games
Okay,
and talking to the players is.
Yeah.
Nah, man, it's a different day and age.
Hey,
That
yeah.
John Madden, that era is out.
That shit
This
dead.
out. We are entertaining. Everything runs together. We streaming. We entertaining. We hosting. We calling games. We owning. We doing it all.
Hey, man.
And Brady, Brady from the Bay, man. We got a different type of culture in the Bay. We talk shit, swallow spit. That's what we do. So especially we see some of our young proteges out there. And I definitely think it was from a protege standpoint.
Hell
like, these are
yeah.
my young dogs. They coming up behind me. I'm shooting at you. This is a comedic event. We got Drewski, we got Kevin Hart
exactly.
here. We all snapping on each other.
Logan Paul
Snapping is just
crazy
something you do
stuff.
out of love. You don't snap on people you don't mess with.
Right.
Because you don't mess with them. I ain't even messing with you. I ain't talking to you. I ain't got nothing to say. But somebody I admire, he probably see Joe like a young him. Like, I see you, Joe. You out there you got my old work with you, the Wildcat. I'm assuming the Wildcat is like a young cat that like a cougar, right? You the young side of a cougar. Like, you got all the OG mamas on you. Like, you Joe, you in fashion shows. You Joe Cool. You Joe Blow. So that's how I took it. I took it definitely as he shooting out of love. This is an event. You got Gronkowski, he about to fade with
They playing around, they going back and forth.
Logan Paul.
Love too,
that was like WWE. That was like pro wrestling.
Yeah, they was in there.
That was the type of
Everybody's
event
just trying
that
to be a
was.
personality.
Everybody want to be a personality. Tom, he got the facial, got the bone structure. He up there.
And he got the chips, bro. He got the rings. He
No,
can,
he
he
got
can say what he want to say.
Hey, you probably
He
had a
can do
couple
what he wanna
cocktails,
do, man. Like,
Yeah. By the
all
way,
the rules that apply for Romo and he doesn't own that shit don't apply for Tom.
no, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? He the man out here, bro. I'm a little bit different than y'all. I'm in a different boat than y'all. You know what I'm saying? I could do this and this and this.
And on top of
Nobody
that, I
has shit
just
to
got a
say.
divorce. Hey, look.
Okay, real quick on your neighborhood thing about from the Bay. He came from a little different neighborhood
Hey,
because
man.
I know his neighborhood.
But you
Hey,
don't know. It's all the Bay.
I
You
know
mingle with
his
you
He came
mingle
from
with
Silicon Valley.
you mingle with some of the hoods. You look
Yeah.
up, you in another place. Tom was mingling. I know Tom
Okay, all
a little bit. Now,
I'm dead.
Tom could probably go wherever he
Bruh,
wants.
Tom,
Wherever he
look,
wanted to. He probably was in the trenches playing football way back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
his pop's a head coach, so he was around, a lot of guys, Skip, at a young age. You take on the lingo, the attitude. That's why you go.
I know his
Why you to go.
neighborhood. I know it cold.
I mean,
Cody, what's your sweet boy opinion?
hey, come on now. I talked a little bit. Now I gotta fucking tough.
Now I gotta go.
No. I mean, I play with Tom. Obviously, I agree with what TJ said. He's not making those jokes if he didn't like those guys. I think he's just messing with them and giving them a hard time. But let's not forget who we're talking about here. This is the greatest quarterback and competitor in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
On top of that, he hasn't played in 3 years, and now he gets a chance to compete. I don't care if it's for a Lombardi trophy or it's a flag football game in March at a random event.
That's
It doesn't
intense
matter what it is.
or a 25-year-old.
Oh, it's Saturday, too.
It doesn't matter who it is. That he can't turn that off. He's built
I'm
different, right? That's just who he. I flash back to the interview he did where he said, if I can just make you my enemy, if I can add a little extra motivation to want to go out there and kill those guys, I'm going to do it. Now, maybe it's not quite to the level of him playing on Sundays in Foxborough, but if you go look at some of these pictures that the NFL has posted on Instagram, go look at his face when he's throwing. It looks like he's warming up for an AFC Championship game in Arrowhead Stadium. Look at some of these videos. He's out there throwing with Odell Beckham, working on their routes and making sure they get their timing down. They're running, they got wristbands calling plays out. You hear his cadence, man. Hey, like loud cadence, like he's back playing. He is locked in.
Serious.
Yeah, loading on that back foot, ripping the over route, letting the corner clear it out. It makes me miss watching Tom Brady play football, but I promise you, that killer instinct that he has as a player, it's coming out a little bit, and I think it got the best of him when he made some of those comments.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think you disagree that he's a little jealous of what transpired.
can he
Nah, I don't think he's jealous, man. This time, like he just got divorced from a model.
Well, that's a ways back.
I'm just saying
But
like,
he's 48. Even though he's Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. He's 48.
48.
Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow.
That don't
if
make
my
you jealous,
if my girl's
bro.
hanging out with Joe Burrow, you should be a little worried.
That ain't my girl. First of all, that's just his little shorty. That's a difference.
We don't. He could be in
That's
love
a shorty
with her.
he running
I don't
around
know. Yeah,
with.
I don't know.
That ain't the only one he running around with. It's Tom Brady we talking about.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, hey.
You never had multiple shorties and you still cared about one?
Hey, man, to each his own. If she wasn't my shorty, then she'd go do whatever she want. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
All right, that's
it wouldn't
fair,
make me
fair.
jealous, you know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? Especially
So-
if I'm
so
Tom
Kinsey,
Brady.
put you on the spot if you had to choose Brady or Burrow. Brady or Burrow.
I mean, Tom Brady's 48.
Okay,
She's
that's
25. She's
What's
younger-
wrong with 48, though?
I know.
She's 25. At least I'm almost 30. Like, okay, maybe a 48. As a 25-year-old young girl, a 48, that's bringing that home to your parents is a little tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not if
Dad.
it's Tom Brady.
Hey,
It'd
Dad.
be very easy.
This is Daddy.
Hey, Dad, this is Tom. Your dad.
Daddy'd be like, oh my God.
Hey, Tom, how you doing? Hey, your daddy would be the biggest fan. He'd be the biggest, even with Burrow too, but he wouldn't have a problem with you bringing home a 48-year-old Tom.
True. My dad would be like, Kinsey, move out the way.
Kinsey, watch out. How you doing, Tommy? Hey,
I know that there are a lot of dads in this country that say, Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
All of them.
Right,
They say the same thing to get this. But all I'm saying is the 48, it is what it is because
This
it's
is
Tom.
Joe Burrow. We're not talking about anybody else. We're talking about Joe Burrow.
I feel that, but I mean, I rock with Joe, but
Not your type.
it's Tom. You feel me? Like, go both ways. You take any one of them dudes home, bro, you're going to get a great reaction.
All I know is
The age is out the window with those guys.
all I
That's
know
I'm
is
saying.
congratulations, Alex Earl.
So if I could quickly speak for my wife, Ernestine, I guarantee you she would take Joe Burrow over Tom Brady.
Has she said it though?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She thinks Joe Burrow is to die for.
Yeah.
Like knockout.
I don't even know if my wife knows Joe Burrow. Shit,
Really?
she'd probably take time.
Okay. But
Really?
just on
Yeah,
looks,
she'd probably take time. Like
I wish Ernestine were here because she just wildcat.
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
so
yeah,
to
yeah.
speak.
Obviously,
she
you
just-
know, like
But
I'm a
she,
taken woman, but Joe Burrow.
but she doesn't think Tom's all that great looking. That's just her. But anyway, she thinks he's a little off looking.
TJ,
Yeah, he's
TJ
got
does.
a
He said
little-
he's got the
Hey,
bone
man.
structure.
he got the
a little
bone
worked
structure,
up.
man. He got the swag. Listen,
Tom been at
Yeah.
the spa.
you feel
Been
me?
on the beach, getting them good,
Yeah. He also.
good
Yeah.
rays.
I mean, as a girl, you think in your head, this guy, he's got 3 kids. Like, you know.
Hey, man.
Hey,
All right. Let's move on. That was a little fun drama segment.
No, it
Let's
was.
move on to something that Skip said on Monday, which was Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC East. Okay, I want to look at
Wow.
this division because we've got Super Bowl winner Jalen Hurts. We got 4-time Pro Bowler Dak Prescott. And in Richie eyes, we've got superstar Jackson Dart, right? So, boys, let's start the argument going. Aqib, rank the NFC East quarterbacks.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna go. First of all, I'm not going to give you this list based on guys' rookie year. You know what I'm saying? I know it's some people here who they just strictly going to look at that rookie year, and that's how their whole list is going to be based on. That's that rookie year. It's important to me, but I'm going to look at the total body of work. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts number 1. He the Super Bowl champ, the Super Bowl MVP. You know, he got 2 Super Bowl appearances. He a Pro Bowler, second team All-Pro. Nobody has a better body of work than him.
Yep.
Next, I'm gonna go Dak. Now Dak was also an offensive rookie of the year. You know what I'm saying? And he got a second team All-Pro, 4 Pro
by the way,
Bowls.
Zeke deserved that, but go ahead.
All right, well, say whatever
did.
you want. I mean, he got
did.
5 playoff appearances.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know what I'm
you
saying?
need to get behind your quarterback. Maybe that would support him.
That's probably the problem.
I used to
right?
be.
That's the problem.
I used to be.
He's reading Skip Bayless tweets.
Yeah.
So I go Dak second with his 5 playoff appearances. You know what I'm saying? I put him second. Third, I go Jaden Daniels. He got the offensive rookie of the year, led his team to the NFC chip in his rookie year. That hold a little weight to me. And then you got Jackson Dart. You know what I'm saying? He started off hot, didn't finish so hot. Hopefully he be better in the future. But he ain't really did enough in the NFL, you know, to be nowhere but 4th in the NFC East. So Jalen Hurts, Dak, Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart.
That's a hard list. That's a hard order to argue, I think.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
the perfect order. Like
Yeah.
if we ask the chat the order, I guarantee you they put it in that order.
Let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
Non-Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and Commander fans.
I mean,
There's gonna be some bias.
even so, the Cowboys fan gonna say, "Oh, we got to give it to Jalen Hurts. He got the chips." You know?
Yeah. I went the same exact order. I went Jalen Hurts number 1 for the exact reasons.
It's
you
only
said.
one order.
It is. I'll be quick then. I got Jalen Hurts number 1. Been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. He's won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. Another thing, too, that makes me put him higher in the overall list as well is I think sometimes we overlook what he's had to deal with since he's gotten the NFL. He's had almost a new play caller every year since he's been in the league. And I know it's still Sirianni's scheme and they run somewhat of a similar system, but even with different play callers, he still puts up the numbers and he still gets the wins and he has the success. Number 2, I put Dak Prescott. He has 83 wins since he got in the NFL, 35,000 passing yards, 271 total touchdowns. I know the biggest knock on him, Skip, is in the playoffs. He's 2-5 and hasn't had a ton of success there. But if you look at the numbers, in those 7 games, he's thrown 14 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He's also had a QBR of over 70 in 4 of those games. You can't put all of those losses on Dak. He's done his part to advance at least in some of those playoff games that they ended up losing.
Love QBR, Skip.
At third, I put Jaden Daniels. I do think the rookie year carries a lot of weight because it wasn't just a good rookie year. It was one of the greatest rookie years that we've ever seen for a quarterback in NFL history. Arguably the best, Skip.
It's not arguable. It was hands down the best.
3,500 yards passing, 900 yards rushing, 36 total touchdowns, only 10 interceptions, and he was fourth in the NFL in QBR. And you always talk about, can you do it in the playoffs as well? Well, in the playoffs, he went to Tampa and beat Baker. Then he goes to Detroit, throws for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, runs for another 50. They beat the Lions, who were the number 1 seed.
They were.
And then they end up falling short to Philly. That's a tough place to play. But he had the best QBR. Huh?
To Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, to Jalen Hurts. Exactly.
Wait,
That's why he's 3 for me right now.
Wait, you just said he had the best QBR in the whole postseason,
in the postseason, he did. But, Skip, my reason that he's third right now is because last year he only played 7 games. You need to see more consistency from him. I think his ceiling and the talent he has and the potential he has is definitely high enough to jump to number 1. It's just got to be more longevity. I need to see a bigger sample size of him continuing to do that. But the talent and the playmaking ability, if he can stay healthy, is absolutely there. He's not going to be a top player in the division. He could be a top quarterback in the NFL.
Agreed.
If he continues on the trend that he's in, if he's healthy. And then at number 4, I have Jackson Dart. He's only played 15 games in his career. Put up some good numbers. I think the future is very bright in New York with Dart as quarterback. I just need to see a little bit more from him to give him a logistic rating.
100%.
Okay.
Well, obviously it's more than one order because I don't have that order. But I did start with Jalen Hurts as number 1. 2 Super Bowl appearances, as you guys mentioned, 1 Super Bowl. You know, even though they defense in those Super Bowls were number 1 and number 2, you can't take away what he did by leading those teams, passing yards, you know, just controlling the whole dynamics of that offense. So I have him number 1. Number 2, I have Jaden Daniels, right? Only receiver, only quarterback in NFL history to pass for 3,500 yards, to rush for 800 yards. 1 year, NFC Championship appearance. 2nd year, hurt. So I don't think he needs a larger sample size over Dak. Even though Dak has 1 million passing yards, he ain't never been to the NFC Championship. So that alone tells me if I got a quarterback that's been in the league 2 years and has 1 NFC Championship appearance, and I have a quarterback that's been in the league for 10 years and has none, I'm going to go with the guy that's been there for 2 because his probability of getting to another NFC Championship looks a lot higher than the guy that's been in the league for 10 years and haven't been to 1. Let alone that, did it with a busted-up roster at that.
He did.
So he did it pretty much on his own. Let me get some guys around him. I'm looking at a Super Bowl champion, if you ask me. So I have Jaden Daniels at 2. I have Dak Prescott at 3. You know, all the passing yards in the world, all the numbers, all the receivers, all the running backs, all the offensive line. You haven't been in the NFC Championship game. That says a lot to me as a quarterback. You can have all pros, contracts, Pro Bowls. You haven't been to the NFC Championship. And you've had enough weapons to get there. You've had the teams to get there. So why haven't you gotten there? And then last, Jackson Dart, obviously. His sample size is small, hasn't done enough. He didn't go to the NFC Championship in his rookie year. Could you imagine Jackson Dart being in the NFC Championship last year?
I can't.
So and that's why Daniels is even 2 on my list. And let alone that, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. So I mean, I know that's college, but it's only one guy every year that wins the Heisman.
TJ got this way more right than the other side of the couch got it. Way more right. So about half of my motivation here is he has pissed me off so many times because he just dumps all over Jaden Daniels as a running quarterback who stays hurt because he runs into injury, right? And that's what you keep saying. and you dismiss the greatest rookie season ever that wasn't just a regular season, it was a whole postseason to the NFC chip game. And to your point, his QBR in the postseason was 84. It just crushed the rest of the field because he goes to Tampa and has a 78. He goes to Detroit and has a 91. He goes to Philadelphia against the team that is about to go steamroll the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and he has an 82 for an average of 84 in the first 3 postseason games with a roster that's about to go over the cliff. Yeah. It's just teetering on old, and then it goes over the cliff last year. He went 12-5 as a rookie starter with a very questionable roster, except for Scary Terry McLaurin. That was his guy to throw to, but it was just him. They didn't have a lot of running game. Their defense was shaky at best, and they went 12-5, which was the best Washington record in 33 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is what really got me about his rookie year. He threw 12 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter or overtime during the regular season, but more important, that was the rookie record by far. But 5 of those came within the last 30 seconds of games. No quarterback since the merger, not just rookie quarterback, no NFL quarterback since the merger had been able to accomplish that. That's spectacular. That's legit to me. That body of work is big enough, to TJ's point, that he's got to rise up the ranks. So, look, a year ago, if we'd done the same questions sitting in these same seats, 1 year ago, I think you might have made a case for Jaden Daniels being the best quarterback in the division. You might have, even though Jalen had just won the Super Bowl. Okay, Jalen Hurts is not a stat machine, right? He doesn't put up regular season big numbers. And he can run, and he can run for first downs in crucial points in the game, but he can't run the way Jaden Daniels can run, because Jaden Daniels can make you miss and hurt you with his legs. Maybe not quite Lamar, but he can do Lamar kind of damage because he ran for 900 yards. That's freakish to me. And again, did he run into trouble last year? So remember, Micah did the blindside sack, the chase down sack, and it sprained his knee. Okay, so he sprained his knee, and then he missed a couple of games and came back. And then he pulls his hamstring, probably because his knee's hurting him a little bit. And then he has a freakish play, and he dislocates his left elbow, not his throwing elbow, and it was no big deal, and they just shut him down for the rest of the year. So it's a non-year. It's just like write-off year. But does that mean he's no good anymore? No. Should we just throw him out? Should we just discard him? Well, obviously not. So when I do the list, I'm projecting on talent into next year, and I already picked Washington as my dark horse, the 5-12 team. If you got Jaden Daniels and all the moves they made in free agency, you better look out above, because they're going to bounce back fast.
So Jaden Daniels for comeback player of the year?
Well, does he qualify? He played here and there. He didn't miss the whole year.
He definitely qualified. He played 7 games.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you say he qualifies, it's like, yes, that should be your odds-on bet.
Tom just told you we ain't seen him in 7-8 months.
Okay, well, he did play a few games, like he played here and there. Okay, I got it. All right, here's my issue with Dak Prescott. Last year, just seriously, I like to think I'm an objective Cowboy fan. Maybe that's an oxymoron. Maybe that doesn't go together. Objective Cowboy. Maybe I'm delusional. But I used to be Dak's biggest supporter. But
how many years ago?
Like 4 years ago, because then it started going to 2-5, and he started to let me down at San Francisco and against Green Bay at home in the playoff game. He stunk. I mean, just flat out stunk.
It was tough years.
Okay, think about this last year. Okay, remember the early game at Chicago. They're favored. Dallas is favored to win the game because the Bears haven't taken off yet, and Dak just stinks in that game. And he throws 2 interceptions. He has a QBR of 36, and it was a real letdown, because I thought they could go win that game and take off. And then they go to Carolina, and they have the ball twice in the fourth quarter with chances to go win the football game. Go look it up. I won't bore you with the details, but it's 2 awful 3-and-outs where they go backward, okay? And they lose 30-27 at Carolina. And then at Denver, we're probably not going to win the game, but he stunk. In the first half of the game, he stunk, and he threw 2 interceptions, and we had no chance. And he wound up with a QBR of 29. And then against Arizona on Monday Night Football, this is a gimme, man. Against Arizona at home on Monday night, and he stinks in that game, and the offense scores 10 total points. And he had another terrible QBR. And then against J.J. McCarthy, and we might talk about him today, I'm not sure we're going to get to it, but the point is, against J.J. McCarthy on Sunday Night Football in Dallas, go look at his numbers. He's awful in that game, and J.J. beats him in QBR by 20 points and completely outplayed him. And remember what B-Flow did to him? Just clowned him, just toyed with him. And Dak just looked lost on offense. I don't know. That's it. That's the guy you're putting second in the
But when Jaden
division.
did play this season, he did go 2-5.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry was out. His main receiver was out.
Okay.
Plus, they had no
say none of the
defense.
excuses.
No defense.
for Dak.
For Dak,
The
he just got whooped.
Okay, but did he not have the most dynamic duo at receiver in the league? Yeah, he did.
I don't know.
And they had one of the best offenses in the NFL. You're going to have some off games. That's where you hope.
Okay,
your
but I
defense
just
can
gave
make
you
up for
5
that.
that were glaring to me.
Right. I just was looking at that great rookie year that he had, and I see a win versus the Giants, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Panthers, the Bears, the Titans, the Saints. Like, it get worse, Skip. Like, goddamn.
That was 2 years ago. That ain't the teams they playing.
But them teams was
That was
bad
the year
2 years ago. Them teams was
Hold
fucking
on.
bad 2 years ago.
Now keep going into the postseason. Do you see a win at Tampa?
Well, I'm just saying.
You see a win at
Out of
Detroit?
them 12 wins,
Let's go.
them was 7 bad football teams.
Okay, well.
8 bad football teams.
How many rookies have even decent years starting? Go look at Peyton Manning's rookie year.
When it comes to the Broncos, you hate the one-score wins. I mean, it was almost lost. All these one-score wins. You just talked about how many one-score wins he got.
He had a bunch.
He beating the Giants by 1 score. It's one score after 1 score on here. The Bears by 1 score.
Did he get to the NFC
Still the
Championship
NFL.
game?
He did.
Say that all the time.
Wow.
It's the NFL.
He did.
Yeah, you can't
Bo got
deny
to the
that.
divisional.
NFL.
He got 1 game less than him. But Bo is here, and he's here from that 1 game, right?
Okay, who's more talented
Technically got
between
the
those two
AFC
guys?
Championship.
But no, I'm talking about Bo rookie year. He went to, you know what I'm saying?
No, I think they lost in the wild card.
Okay. He won 2 more games than Bo.
Yeah.
So that put them like this, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Okay, did Bo not stink at Buffalo? He stunk at Buffalo.
Not last year.
No, I'm saying as a rookie.
Well, I just remember last year, Bo versus Buffalo. I can't remember that far back.
We got a little recency
I
bias.
just remember the last Bo versus Buffalo. I'm just saying, man. It's if you had a rookie year like that, backdoor it.
I mean, it's
Backdoor it, man.
It's 100%. This the NFL. You know, we
You're right.
We 100%
I do need to see them.
injury.
You're right. This the NFL.
Yeah.
So I can't base your rankings off of 1 year.
Yeah.
You got to combine them 2 years. Now, if we combine both of those years together, that's the
But I'm
third place
saying,
guy.
That's like if you get if you win the Super Bowl in your first year, you ain't gonna take you can't.
That's the
judge
thing.
that off
Y'all
of-
talking like he won the Super Bowl in
he
his
got
first
close
year.
to it. Took,
But this the NFL. Who ain't get close to it?
a lot of motherfuckers.
A lot of
ain't got
motherfuckers
close.
get. A lot of motherfuckers do get close to it.
Hey, Dak ain't got close.
You never hear me talk about my Patriots. Oh, we went to the AFC chip. I don't give a fuck about that. But we ain't win no chip, bro. I don't even never. Have you ever heard me bring
No, I
up a
didn't even
Patriot
know-
anything? Because it didn't mean nothing.
I didn't even know you were on that team.
You ain't even know I played for them motherfuckers then. We lost the AFC chip twice.
Yeah, but we not.
I was in the AFC chip with them twice. We don't talk about that. Tom don't talk about them years.
We judging him compared to Dak. I'm not. No, Skip got something else. I said Hurts was number 1.
Yeah.
But as far as Jalen and Prescott, NFC Championship. Let's get there.
You're talking Jay.
So, because he went to the NFC Championship one time, he trumps Dak.
Absolutely.
Man,
Okay.
come
Took
on,
a worse
bruh.
team, went further. He trumps him. Why wouldn't he?
Evidently, it wasn't a worse team. He did it by himself.
He made a lot of that shit happen.
Hey, man, come
He
on,
made a
bro.
lot of
This is
that
the
shit
national.
happen.
You keep saying it. It's the National Football
It is,
League.
but he made a
we
lot
do
of that
nothing
shit
by
happen.
himself.
Where was the Redskins before that, and where was the Redskins the season he got hurt and only played 7 games?
What was the team? Where was the team too?
wasn't
McLaurin
nowhere.
was out. Like they had a bunch of
I think they
people
were
out.
still
It was the
Commanders,
team was
my
different.
bad, Commanders.
Yeah. Okay, well, the chat has spoken. And it's not even really close here. It's Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott,
Only one.
Jaden Daniels, and then Jackson Dart barely
It's
has
only
any
one.
votes
It's
at all.
only one. It's only one.
Let me
ranking here, man.
be in the
Thank
middle
you,
here.
Chad.
I think 2 things can be true. I think 2 things can be true. He had the best rookie season at quarterback of all time, and he has
Yeah.
a ton of potential.
We're not arguing
But
that.
to our point is that you need to see a little bit more, right?
Sure.
I need you to follow that up with a couple more years to know that wasn't just a one and done year. Now you're going to do it. Obviously, the injuries, you can't always control that. But in year 3, year 4, you can keep seeing them going in the right direction, which I think he can. I think this list will continue to change as the years go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of right now, I think at 3 off of 1 year is still pretty damn good.
I'm excited to see what Jaden does.
I'm just
this
curious,
year.
like Dak, without him getting to an NFC Championship, what has he done?
He been to the playoffs 5 times. He won 8
playoffs,
division
man?
championships.
So what? Everybody make the
7
playoffs.
division
Or no,
titles.
sorry, 5
But you
times.
can't
5,
deny
he's
the records
2
that
and
Dak
5,
Prescott
2 and 5.
has broken for the Cowboys. He puts up numbers.
So Brock Purdy is up there too, right? He went his rookie year. He went to the NFC chip. So he's top he top tier.
Yep.
We're not
better
talking
than
about
Dak.
Brock Purdy. We're talking about Jaden Daniels.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's
Okay.
We can talk about Brock
if
Purdy.
an NFC chip appearance,
Hey, yeah.
Crowned
To answer
you.
your question, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
taking
God.
Purdy
Yeah.
over Dak.
Yeah.
I like Dak. I think he had an awesome season last year. But two, you know, you got. I don't want a winner. You got to win. Sample size is smaller.
division championships
Further.
don't matter. That's not
Further.
winning.
NFC championship.
Division
He won
titles.
the division while Dak was playing in his rookie year.
So if Aaron Rodgers doesn't hit Cook on the sideline in 2016 and he makes it to the NFC Championship game, I know it's an if, but would we still have
Dak just went and got a bucket, though.
Would we not be talking about that
If
same?
what?
But
If?
Dak just went and got a bucket.
You can't
And
tell me
what?
Aaron Rodgers
Dak
rolling
went and
left
got a
hitting
bucket,
Cook.
and
Like
then the
he
defense
should be
let
at
Aaron
least
Rodgers
have an
score.
NFC
That's on
Championship
Dak.
appearance.
If.
That's on Dak, too.
It is an if. It is an if. But
If.
context. It's also ifs are also
You
context.
say you like the win. He got 83 wins, bro.
83 wins.
Got a lot of wins.
He got 83 wins. He got 5 division titles,
He
bro.
broke Tony Romo's record.
In a healthy year, he didn't win the division while he was facing Daniels.
All right. I know these
Kinsey, if you had rooted for Dak Prescott the way you root for the 49ers against the 49ers twice, if
Lee, we was
flipped
at the
script-
game in Dallas.
You was.
When
I
the
was.
Niners went and
I
went up
was.
there and
But you know what was happening?
What happened?
Dak was playing.
he was what?
He was under center playing, attempting to win a game.
Okay, but he stunk in both those games.
But he was
really
playing,
awful.
though.
Okay, and
He was
then-
actually in the game
okay,
playing.
and then against Green Bay in a home playoff game, they were favored to win by 7 points. They fell behind 27-0 in the first half.
They lost.
Okay, okay, he was horrible.
But
It's
Dak
like,
was actually playing in the playoffs again,
Okay.
under center playing. a game.
congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Our
maybe
guy
it's a
was in
recency
college.
bias, but
Yeah,
from what we saw
on
from
the
Dak
shelf.
Prescott last year,
Yeah.
you can't deny that there's hope. You don't have a terrible quarterback. You make it seem
No,
like
he's
there's
not
no
terrible.
hope.
Until
So he
No,
come
he's
off a
not
7-win
terrible.
season, and you
You
put him
know-
the best quarterback in the division.
He the
Like,
third.
Come on,
He the
Skip.
third.
Come on.
All right, we know these boys can argue all day, so let's move on. All right, let's talk about Max Crosby, because obviously we talked about a lot what happened with the Ravens and that fallout, but now we actually have a response from Max Crosby, exactly kind of what happened. So I want to put his tweet up here. So, okay, this is kind of what happened, or this is what he had talked about. I'm going to summarize it for you because it's kind of long. So he met with the head coach and the GM and after his physical and then his MRI. And then they informed him that one of the doctors was a little bit concerned and then went back to the hotel and he was waiting. And his agent was like, hey, I think Baltimore might pull out of the deal. Then a Ravens member calls saying they're going to figure this out. So Max is confused because Max gets this call from the Ravens like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. Don't worry. 5 minutes later, his agent calls Max and says, yeah, Baltimore backed out. So it's a very confusing situation, obviously. So this is what he said. It was a whirlwind, to say the least. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. I'm fired up. I'm here. I'm meant to be a Raider. I mean, of course he's going to say that now. Now he's on the Raiders.
Right.
After making a statement like, I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah.
So, Skip, what was
Yeah.
your reaction to what Max Crosby said?
Okay, so I watched this whole video of this podcast, and you got to the bottom line, which you just read, was I wasn't supposed to be in Baltimore. I'm meant to be a Raider. It's in my damn core. Okay, that's it. So I don't want to hear anything about all your Ravens issues. I don't want to say, oh, woe was I, and can you believe the way they treated me? I kept watching all that saying, well, obviously, duh. You know, everything he said is like, why didn't you get it? Why didn't your agent make you aware of what could happen? It's not official until the next day. You got to pass your physical. And he said, well, Eric DeCosta didn't even come for 5 hours. Well, it's because the trade's not official and something is cooking with Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's cooking and cooking, and they're waiting and waiting for somebody else to come in and outbid them, and nobody outbid them, and they're like, wait, we can get Trey Hendrickson for this, and we don't have to give up all these draft picks for Max Crosby? And it's just like, I didn't want to hear any of it from Max, because who cares about what happened in Baltimore? Because I couldn't figure out why the Raiders were going to trade him in the first place. He's really good, and he's really there. His heart is in Las Vegas with the Raiders. So
Is he going to win a chip with the Raiders?
I don't know. Aqib and I liked what they did. I mean, they're on the road. It's not going to happen next year.
But maybe to win a playoff game for the first time in
maybe. I had them.
Who crowned the Ravens to be the championship favorites?
Well, you liked them as your dark horse, right?
Yeah, I still like him, man.
But
I do think he has got a better opportunity with Baltimore than the
Okay, but
right now, as of today, he do.
Okay, you like the Raiders to win 8 games. I like them to win 9 games next year because they won free agency and they accidentally backed into Max Crosby. That's pretty great.
I guess we're all just banking on Fernando Mendoza being that guy.
All right. Well, I think he's going to be very good. And so what's the problem with Max Crosby? I know you got to fill up your podcast, but after a while, I'm like, I don't want to hear any of that anymore. And you shouldn't have been so naive. Like Dr. Elatraj, you know him, I know him. And of course, he's going to tell Max, you're fine, fine. But one of those doctors, I believe, did have long-term concerns about his knee surgery. That's what I believe happened. Just long-term, I'm not sure about this kind of concerns.
Do you believe that?
I do believe that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think his comments just confirmed what I said happened. Like you was the backup plan. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get off the plane and you get to the facility and you're not greeted at the door.
No one.
Like, you ain't greeted at the door. It's Max Crosby coming to the building. The head coach and the GM is not greeting you at the door.
Yeah. Wake up.
Should be the
That's
first
a
one
red flag right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, what's going on here? Like, that, you just confirming what we said, man. They had it cooking with Hendrickson.
Yep.
They like, all right, let's stall him. Let's just buy ourselves some time. We got 3 days. We'll get to him and say what's up when we say what's up. So, I mean, he's just confirming exactly what I thought happened, man. He was the bona fide backup plan. If we can't get Hendrickson, then, okay, we'll go on the limb. We'll let our picks go, and we'll take Max. You know what I'm saying? But if we can get Hendrickson, we want to get him and keep our picks on top of that and get another O-lineman. So, man, it's just red flag after red flag. And I know he feels some type of way. That's why he spent the whole podcast talking about it. Because, how can you not? Like, you could say you a Raider at heart, and you could say all of this, but at that moment, you was gone, bro.
Yeah, he was.
You go to his story, he had a picture of the city. You know what I'm saying? He was excited about being a Raider.
Like going back to your girl that you just left and be like, actually, take me back.
Exactly. Hey, what you doing?
I didn't want to be with you, but I'm coming back.
You up?
You back home. Bing bong, what you doing back home? I ain't leaving no more.
Because he got turned down elsewhere.
Exactly,
that does not feel good. The Raiders
It can't feel good because you was. That's why he's spending so much time on it, bro. It had to hit him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's only right. It would have hit any one of us a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
Hey, man, it's the National Football League, man. Shit happens.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely. He was just clarifying all the suspicions that we thought. He just like, yeah, your thoughts was right.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
out there for everybody to know. It was from the get go. Like
the weird call from them, and then 5 minutes later,
it started. He said they put him on the coach, had him in the middle seat. That's what he should have known. They didn't send the jet for him. They put him in the middle seat. Man, they had him commercial in there with Timbuktu. Nah, yeah, it definitely red flags from the check-in.
Like, bro, you was definitely the backup.
Look, yeah, man. I think he just wants the world to know how, he feel how flagrant the whole situation was. But, things happen, man. The Ravens brought me in. I was projected top 2 rounds, so it can't get me to the 6th round. I said, so y'all done flew me all the way out here, got me in this hot-ass velvet blazer to the 6th? So that means just be games that you got to deal with their evaluations in the NFL. You got to be mentally tough. But to Crosby, God don't make no mistakes, man. Hey, like you said, you may not have been the way you planned it out in your head, but you back with the Las Vegas Raiders for good reason. You there to be there. Yep. So be there. And be everything that you still can be and want to be as an NFL pro, man. You all-pro player, man. You Super Bowl on the docket. You got a new quarterback, Mendoza, coming in. The Raiders ain't won first, Latino quarterback, Jim Plunkett, to win the Super Bowl ever. Yep. So maybe that time for y'all. You know,
At
Mendoza
least
got that
there's
Hispanic
hope
background.
like,
There's hope,
at
man.
least.
League got him as a
Could be
dark,
worse.
not as dark horse as
They building.
7 wins, 8 wins,
Yeah,
in 2 years.
and
2-year
like,
plan.
you know, this is all speculation. I don't know exactly what went on behind closed doors for the Ravens and what the decision really came down to. Maybe it was issues that they had with the physical, and they thought there might be some long-term concerns, and they decided to go get Trey Hendrickson instead, who also is coming off a surgery, though, by the way.
Right.
He missed
Stomach.
significant
Yeah.
time last year because of an injury. So
lot of
both
time.
of them are coming off of surgery. So to Aqib's point, maybe it did boil down to we can get Hendrickson at this price rather than having to give up 2 first-round picks to get Max Crosby. We think we can get the same type of production from Hendrickson. But I'm with you. The thing that was very telling for me was when you make a blockbuster trade like this that blew up over social media, you have a high-caliber player like Max Crosby coming to your organization. As soon as he steps off the plane, maybe they'll get their guy to go get him. But as soon as he walks up to the front doors of that organization, there should be your GM, your head coach, and every decision maker that's involved with that organization there to dap him up and welcome him to Baltimore. The fact that he said he had to wait 5 hours to meet with the GM and talk with the head coach and go through everything, I think the writing was on the wall, and I think he slowly realized that as he was going through that process. But I'll tell you this.
Getting played.
I do
It'd be
believe.
hard to realize that.
Yeah. Well, and I think we saw like the real human aspect of it too. At the end of the day, you look at all these guys as players and tradable assets and all these things. He was sitting there in real time like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to find people on my team. I'm trying to text people.
Yeah.
They're telling me these different things, that there's some concerns. I'm calling my doctor who says there aren't concerns. I can only imagine the whirlwind that was going through his mind. But at the end of the day, I love what TJ said. Everything happens for a reason. And I promise you, once he's healthy this year, we're going to see a pissed off, motivated Max Crosby that's probably going to have the best season that he's had of his career. And he's going to go prove everyone wrong that said he couldn't come back better from this injury. I think he's going to have a great year this year.
I'm checking when they play each other, because that's going to be a game we're going to want to watch.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
Don't play
All right, I want to get to one more betrayal before we wrap up today. Okay, potential little betrayal here, because
Betrayal.
some people, Tampa Bay's going to view it as that, right? San Francisco announced they have signed Mike Evans, right? It was a 3-year, $60.4 million contract. This was averaging $20 million per year. Okay, then later, new figures came to light that the Niners actually agreed on a 3-year contract worth $42.4 million. This is only $16.3 guaranteed. So it has now been revealed
I told you it was a 1-year
that
deal.
Evans chose to go to the Bay for less money.
They said significantly less.
Significantly less money. I do have a quote. This is from Jason Light. He said, "I don't feel betrayed. I'm in mourning. Mike gave us everything he had for 12 seasons here and established himself as one of the best players in the league. So, to say it again, one of the best players we've ever had. I don't feel betrayed. He earned the right." But hard to feel betrayed when you're offering more money and he's still like, "I'm out of here." Obviously, as a Niner fan, hell yeah. But Cody, what does it say to you that Mike Evans took less money to go to San Francisco?
Yeah, I agree with that 100% too. He's absolutely earned the right to make a decision that's best for himself. It says a couple things to me. The first is that, you know, he's been in the league now for 12 years, and he realizes that he's getting towards the end of his career, and he wants one more shot to try to go win another ring. And I think he feels that he'd have a better opportunity in San Francisco rather than he would in Tampa Bay. I don't think that's a knock on the team. He just is going to an organization that he thinks is better fit to make a run with the short amount of time that he has left. The other thing I think it tells me is that he really wants to see what he can do in Kyle Shanahan's offense. If you look at Tampa Bay, they've had 5 different coordinators over the last 5 years. He's had to continue to learn a new scheme, to learn a new playbook. Now he's going to go to a team that's had the same play caller, which is also their head coach, for the last 7 years. So yeah, he'll have to learn the offense this year, but he should have some continuity the next couple of years. And outside at wide receiver, he should be that number 1 option. Now, obviously, George Kittle at tight end and CMC at running back will get their targets, but Mike Evans should be right up there with those guys when it comes to a target standpoint and a production standpoint. And like I said, at the end of the day, he has absolutely earned the right to do this. He stayed in Tampa Bay for 12 seasons. He had 11 straight years of 1,000 yards. During those 12 seasons, they had 7 losing seasons, and he still said, "This is home for me. This is where I want to be." I think he absolutely deserves the right to go somewhere else in his career and not be looked, you know, in a bad light for leaving Tampa Bay. I think when it's all said and done, he'll still go back and retire as a Buck, but he wants to go make a run in San Fran.
I mean, a few more dollars is not everything. Like you look, like you said, the human standpoint of us not being so much commodities, but we are human. Happiness, comfortability. Tampa Bay, I was there my last year, right? Jason Light, I love Jason Light as a GM. I appreciate him bringing me in after Denver cut me. But he hung on to his coaches a little bit too long, if you ask me. I was there with Dirk Cutter. Should have let him go the year I was there. He kept him another year. For what reason, I don't know, because they sucked again. Then he finally brought in Arians, and then Tom came and they won the Super Bowl. I think the same thing is happening with Bowles. The writing's on the wall. Let him go. Bring some fresh new blood in here, and let's have a resurgence, because we have talent. We can win games, but we're keeping old and stale coaches for an extra year for no reason. And I see Mike saying this, like, okay, like you just said, let's go somewhere fresh. San Francisco is a great fresh start. They're always in contention. I'm the piece they've been missing. They were in the divisional game last year. They had a loss. They had no receivers, and their defense was beyond hurt. So they have another opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to stay here another year and retire losing, in a situation that could have been upgraded. I'm just not doing it. So I'm going to take less money. I'm going to move across the country. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to take my family, my kids, and I'm going to be in a winning culture. The opportunity for him to go to an organization like the San Francisco 49ers was great. You just can't pass on it for a few $1 million when I already got $100 million in the bank.
Sometimes you just need a change of scenery. Like, you just be done with the spot you're at, and you take less money to go. That just show you just done with that whole building, with the head coach, the GM, the quarterback. I'm done with everything about that building. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I just need a full change of scenery. And at that part of your career, them later years, 12, 13, it's not even really about the cash, man. I'm getting double-digit millions to play football. I got millions in the bank. Like, I'm trying to go somewhere where, who can I win a Super Bowl with? And you just kind of pick which team you think I can end my career here and win a Super Bowl. So he won one with Tom, so he know how that offseason, he know how that building feel when you got a chance to win a Super Bowl. He just ain't feel that shit in Tampa right now. Like, bro, I ain't feeling this, bro. He's not gonna win, and he ain't want to be a part of it. So, hey.
And then you got to look at what he was dealing with before Tom got there. Like, wasn't even close to winning.
Like,
Tom
I know how it looked.
We got some shit together for 2 years.
His first year was like 4 wins. His second year might have been 5 or 6. And he was still faithful and loyal and wanted to stay there and wanted to help them turn it around. He did that. Now I think he deserves a ride off in the sunset.
So here's the quote from Jason Light. We made a significantly higher offer than San Francisco, and that was just our first offer. Right. Just for the record, okay? Jason Light concluded, I feel like we did everything possible we could to keep Mike here. Okay, they did. They did everything they could. And ESPN reported that Mike Evans' deal in San Francisco is actually, if you boil it down, it's a 1-year deal.
It's a 1-year deal.
For $14.3 million.
Remember I told you that, Kinsey?
Okay,
I told
you did.
It's a 1-year
you said
deal.
it. For $14 million, it's going to be a steal because he is a flat-out underrated stud of a #1 receiver. So I'm sorry. I root for Baker, maybe to a fault, but I do root for him. And to me, this, in the end, feels like a big FU to Tampa. It just does, because he just said, I'm done with all of you.
Everybody.
And I'm going to, and you mentioned Todd Bowles, and I know Todd, and I respect him, but I'm with you. It was time. I thought they were going to move on, because they finished the year 2-7 in the last 9 games, and they kept Todd. So Mike Evans is saying, I'm going to leave Todd Bowles for Kyle Shanahan. And I'm going to leave another new coordinator in Zach Robinson, who got fired and let go in Atlanta because of the new staff. But I'm going to leave another new coordinator for Kyle Shanahan. And I'm going to leave Baker Mayfield for Brock Purdy. And you talk about Brock being in the chip in the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay, yeah, he did that. And Mike is saying, I'm looking at Tampa. They signed Kenneth Gainwell, who's not bad, and A'Shawn Robinson's not bad, and Anzalone's not bad. But he's looking at Carolina. They signed Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd. I mean, that was like boom, boom. Those are big moves. And they're already pretty good, Carolina. And Mike's just saying, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with all that. Let me go here because I got a shot here. I know it's a tough division, but hey, he's got a shot. A real shot. And you don't have...
playing under Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I know it's Kyle Shanahan. So I can't blame him or condemn him for this, but... Man, if I'm Baker, I'm like, God.
I mean, the team's not they not married to us. They ship us off quick as hell.
Yeah,
So,
why do you have to be?
exactly. So the players you don't have to be loyal to no team, bro. I'm a free agent. I already was loyal.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
for
I'm saying?
12 years.
Exactly.
We're not. It's not like he was a first-round draft pick. He's played 3 years, 4 years. This is his second contract.
No.
He says I'm out. He's been there for 12 years,
been there for a
and he's been
decade
through a
plus.
lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he's given everything he has to Tampa. I'm glad that Light said that he deserves to make this decision that's best for himself, because I 100% agree with
He
you.
was part of the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? A major
Yeah.
part of the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
he brought something to the city.
Well, I offer condolences to Baker and congratulations to Kinsey.
Oh,
Right?
Skip.
'Cause that's,
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah,
What do
it
you
is
see
big.
for Baker this year? I know you're a big
Yikes.
Baker fan.
I see them finishing second in this division.
Second.
Second place finish.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Sorry
I'm not
for
a
Harold.
Stefanski or a Tua fan, so I can't. I'll
Yeah.
I feel you.
Okay.
Hey, don't
neither.
you know? And don't sleep on Tampa. I know their defense has to get better, but they still got Ibuka. They still got McMillan. They got Chris Godwin should be back from injury. They still have some weapons.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
some weapons.
Bucky
Buka's
Irving.
he's a real one. I
got
think
a
that
good
plays
receiver.
into
You know
it
what?
as well.
When I look at last year, if Baker doesn't pull off 4 miracles early, 4,
Yeah.
it's like fine line. If you don't pull it out of your butt 4 times, because that's what those were. The one at Seattle, even, man. Then who are you? What are you?
But to your point, Cody, I think another thing is he the number 1 receiver going into this season with Ibuka? Like, that's another. Am I going to get those targets? You know?
You don't think so?
I mean, in Buka, he was,
Boy,
cold
if
now.
I'm calling plays, I'm
Boy
still finding
cold.
ways to get 13 the
Yeah.
ball.
But you got to spread it
But
out.
I would like to
between
get
Godwin.
Ibuka involved as well. And
But
all
Don't,
those
I
guys.
like
Gonna
the 1-2
spread out.
punch
Win,
because
but-
who are
Three
you going to
receivers
double?
there.
Yeah.
All right, guy. Well, then let's not tell Gerald that we don't have hopes for Tampa Bay. But we will.
see
Gerald
him
don't
Monday.
either.
I think he's
Yeah,
gonna
we're
be
going to
there.
see him Monday,
Yeah.
so we won't tell him that. But
Yeah.
we will be back here on Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of The Arena Gridiron presented by Underdog.
Whoa.